All right, sorry.
What's
So,
up?
uh, what can I do for you? Where do you want to start? I can start if you want.
You wanted to talk to me.
Okay. I feel like when I usually have these conversations, sometimes there's a bit of a dissonance because there are some foundational things that they don't agree on, and then that kind of like is maybe the reason you don't really they get kind of like people talking past each other. So, I guess just to start from a very early base, do you think Israel has like any right to target Hezbollah militants?
I don't believe in a right to target anybody. I don't even think that's like ascribed anywhere. I think there's legitimate and illegitimate targets, and there's legitimate and illegitimate military objectives. I don't know what can confer the right to kill other people as like a guarantee. Can you articulate what that right would be
Well,
articulated by?
legitimate it would be yeah, as in legitimately can they target Hezbollah fighters? As in like if I go and murder a Chinese soldier, I probably don't have any legitimate reason to do that. But if China wages war on my country and I'm a soldier, then I probably can. That's what I mean by right.
Gotcha, but that's not really what a right is. It's kind of just you know how
Okay.
war works.
Okay,
A right, a
I
right to
don't want to
kill,
get into a moral philosophy argument. So
what
would
that's
legitimate be
your it's your
easier?
phrasing. It's your phrasing.
With legitimate, it's your interpretation of my phrasing. You jump to legitimate, so it seems like you understand what I mean by right.
Well, that's not what I mean by right.
Okay.
So I won't say that.
Do
You
you
asked
think
me.
Hezbollah militants are legitimate targets for Israel?
It depends. Legitimately, like what is killing any specific Hezbollah person going to achieve? That's what a
Do
legitimate
you think it?
military
Yeah,
target
I
is.
know. Do you think it would achieve anything then, or no? That's what I'm asking you.
It's not really up to me. They have to prove it that it was going to do something.
Okay. I would normally
You
just
never
use the
have you
words.
never heard that, or is your awareness of war just like two people dress up in different colors and they just like slaughter each other until the history writes that one side won? Is that like your kind of like complexity of understanding these things?
Yeah, well, I never read the 200-page document that you sent me with no elaboration, but
Yeah, I know. It's
I
claims
guess well,
counterinsurgency operations.
um, so
I
my
was fucking with
understanding
you.
is that Hezbollah have been attacking Israel since October 8th. They have said since their inception that their goal is to destroy Israel and liberate all of historic Palestine from the river to the sea and turn it into an Islamic state that they share a border with. They will never accept a Hezbollah, Lebanon-Israel border. It's only a Lebanon-Palestine border. And I think if Hezbollah have been firing that many attacks indiscriminately into Israel, then it is legitimate for them to try and stop that or to try and deter it or to attack and
So that's
incapacitate
fine.
the people who are doing it.
How does this deter that?
Because Hezbollah's communications are now. They went from modern technology back to pagers because they were so paranoid about all the interceptions that were happening. And now their means of communication are even less. And what seems to be the case, based on what they're doing now, is it has disrupted their communication so it's easier to target their installations, which is what they're doing now. So
Says who? Just the Israelis that they're convinced of this? So this is going to permanently like end Hezbollah being able
I
to
don't think
talk
it
to
needs to
anybody?
permanently end Hezbollah. I think it just needs to make it more difficult for them to attack Israel.
Well, why?
It needs to give them a
What really
military
makes it?
advantage, and Israel's got a military advantage right now because Hezbollah are in shambles. Yeah, they've lost like
Really, what do you mean by shambles? I mean, it's a terror cell, right? So what do you mean by shambles? Like they're all over the place. You killed a few people. You eliminated their communications for now until
you
they
injured a bunch of
rebuild them.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, but you also injured a shitload of civilians in Lebanon, right? Do you know what happens when you injure civilians during wartime?
I don't know what the
You get,
proportion of injured civilians is to militants yet. We don't have that data.
I know, and you probably won't be able to get it because Israel did the attack, and they don't discriminate for targets. They can't tell you who they killed because they don't.
You wouldn't get the data from Israel. You would get the data from the Lebanese health authorities.
Well, yeah, you'd have to get
That's
the
why we
Lebanese
know.
health authorities
How
to
do you
give
think
it
we
to you
know?
because
How do you think we know
Israel
who
doesn't know
died?
who they're attacking. Of course, that's psychotic that you even said that.
It seems to be they know who they're attacking.
Israel has no idea who they killed. We got to wait until
Why
fucking
not? Wait,
Lebanon tells us.
whoa, how did they not know who they attacked?
Well, then if they did, then they can tell us.
They can know who they attacked in terms of like where the explosions took place
How? What? How do they know that?
because they are the ones who trapped the pagers.
Do the pagers have GPS on them?
I don't know if they had GPS, but
Are
they
the
knew that they were.
I
is
know
it just a
don't, because I can see the
coincidence
inside of
that?
them.
Is it just a
No,
coincidence that?
literally, you're fucking smoked right here. Were people
There's nothing
observing
more
the
convincing
bomb
than
when it went
someone
off?
who talks about how much they're winning
Shut
the
up,
debate
stop,
when they
don't
can't even
metagame
make
me,
a
don't
coherent
metagame me, I'm
point. You interrupted
don't
me.
metagame
That's
me.
why I'm just matching your energy.
You fucking DM'd
We can do it
me
this
to
way
talk.
if you want to.
You DM'd me to
Yeah, but now
talk.
you're
We can
interrupting me,
do
so
it. I
you're
don't
setting the
care.
tone.
You're not doing me a favor.
I don't think I'm doing you a favor.
I know you're not. How can you?
I'm doing myself a disservice because you're not making any points.
Who blew up the bomb? How can you tell who blew up the bomb and where it blew up? How can you tell?
I'm not saying anything about where. Do you want me to start from the beginning?
You need to know where. You need to know where to know who's going to get injured by it.
You know, we have videos, at least 2, of someone getting
at least
their...
2 of how many pagers? Of how many pagers?
What was like? Can you finish my sentence for me, please? What was I going to say?
It doesn't matter. You have 2 videos.
Oh, so you don't care what I have to say?
There?
What's the point of me talking to you then?
You asked me to talk to you.
The reason I brought up the video was because
you don't know what you're talking about. That's the other point.
Okay, so
I
I'll
don't need
just
you to talk about ancillary.
Okay, so
extra
the
shit.
reason I brought up the video is because we have videos, at least 2 of them, of pagers going off, and there's literally someone standing right next to the person carrying the pager, within a foot of them, and they just step back and walk away, which means they probably knew that these explosions would be small enough that they wouldn't be likely to cause damage to people next to them.
How do you know that? How do you know that the person wasn't injured?
Because they just back off and run away. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, people run away from explosions and then die later all the time. I'll tell you this right now. When I was in Iraq, I saw a guy get shot in the liver and he lived for like 8 hours. Just walked around and bled to death inside.
So the video of the cashier who's standing next to someone who blows up.
You can't diagnose a fucking injury on a grainy television video, and you only have 2. So you've only accounted for 2 fucking bombs that have gone off. But now you're just going to give Israel the oh no, I'm pretty sure that they had this all figured out. They just put bombs out in the middle of nowhere and started popping them off.
How big do you think these pagers?
That's not how explosions work, Loner Box. Where do you get this information? Why do you think you are able to comment on this? What is your background in explosives?
Do I need a background in explosives to know that a pager?
To talk about explosives, yes. You have to have some grounding in the things that you're talking about in order to make assessments of them. This is how knowledge works.
Okay, why were 37 of the 40 deaths claimed by Hezbollah?
I don't, because I don't know, 30.
That seems like a pretty reasonable level of discernment, doesn't it? It seems like they knew that those. It seems like they knew those pagers were going to hurt people that were. What do you think they just randomly picked people?
Guys? Hezbollah's like, oh hey, yeah, you actually did fucking kill some of our guys, but not all of them. Not all of them were Hezbollah guys. That's a fucking success to you. By your own definition, that means that one of the fucking pagers was on a civilian and killed them.
Do you think
there's even your own definition of how the fucking
do you think there's a way to?
You have to admit that literally means that.
Oh, I'll just keep talking over you then. Okay. Do you think? Okay. But collateral damage is a concept. Okay, I'm sure you understand that.
Collateral damage is only a concept when you think that the bomb's going to be bigger than a single individual. So you're saying
no, that is not the case. What are you talking about?
You said there wasn't going to be collateral damage.
Collateral damage. I didn't say there wasn't going to be collateral damage. I'm saying that's lower than the military advantage.
That the amount of explosives that they're using is only going to harm one person. That would be if one person gets hit by the thing. That's fine.
I said that it was a reasonable assumption. I said it's a reasonable assumption. It's a reasonable assumption that the collateral damage will be low, and we know that because the number of people who died who were not Hezbollah was much lower than the number of people who died who were civilians. 37 to 40.
Also, deaths is not casualties. You're not even accounting for the injuries. Well, how many injuries were there?
Do you not think the deaths are a reasonable proxy for how? Do you not think the deaths are a reasonable proxy?
How many injuries were there, Loner Box? We're talking about collateral. How many injuries were there? It was like 2,400 in the article that I read last.
Yeah, do you know what the proportion of injuries is? Do you know why? Do you know what the proportion of injuries is? Do you know what the proportion of injuries is?
Because a fucking bomb, Loner Box, when it goes off,
really? People were injured by a bomb. That's fucking crazy. I'm matching your energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what proportion of them were militants? What proportion of them were militants?
No one knows because it's an indiscriminate terrorist attack.
No one knows because the health authorities didn't report on it yet.
Because the people who were aiming the bombs didn't keep track of where they fucking went, Loner Box, you fucking moron.
Well,
you fucking idiot.
Yes, they did. They knew that they knew that the pagers were on Hezbollah persons.
And now they're waiting for the hospitals there to tell them how many civilians were killed or injured. And you don't even know.
Do you think in every strike you need to know exactly the number of people who are going to get hit, but like down to the exact person? Do you need to know that?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes.
You can.
Yes,
it's
you
a
do.
reasonable.
Where do you get that from? Where do you get it from?
Reasonable.
Why are you saying that?
Reasonable
you
assumption.
You were just bumbling your fucking way through the Geneva Conventions, you fucking moron. You don't know how explosives work. You don't know how the fucking military
Reasonable
operates.
assumption.
Why do you have the confidence to say this, you idiot? Why are you this confident?
Because it's
Go to the
reasonable.
confidence. I don't even care. Nothing you say is valid in a military context.
Because it's reasonable expectation is the standard.
Why is it reasonable? Why is it reasonable? Says who? Says you?
No, that's the legal standard for proportionality. You have to have a reasonable expectation.
From who? From where? You were just reading the Geneva Conventions the first time on the fucking thing you're talking about. How the fuck would you know?
That wasn't the Geneva Convention. That's Additional Protocol 2. That's not the
Geneva
Convention.
Fucking Convention.
No. So you don't know what you're talking about. That's okay.
Hold on.
Is there any way for Israel to target Hezbollah fighters without civilians getting in the way, since Hezbollah blends in with civilians? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah.
How?
You just fucking go up and put a fucking bullet in the side of their head.
They should send special forces into Lebanon and just.
I didn't say special forces. I said just go put a bullet in the side of their head. You can fucking do anybody that.
So they should send. So they should send boots in the ground into Lebanon. They should send troops into Lebanon, and that would be safer.
Troops into Lebanon and explosive explosive pagers.
Because in a ground invasion, your death ratio is a lot worse than 40 to 37. You fuck.
What? Hold on. Sorry, I was actually reading some. What did you say? Call me a retard. But what did you say? Why did you think that that's not the fucking Geneva Convention?
Because in a ground invasion,
did you have that
ratio. Because in a ground invasion, the death ratio is much worse than 41 to 37. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah, if you do terrorism, that's kind of the point. If you do terrorism, you lose less people. That's
I don't know why you keep
begging
the question and calling it terrorism.
I'm not begging the question. I'm describing literally terrorism. It's not begging the question.
What they were? What?
So I'd have to fucking ask you a question for it to be begging the question. I'm accusing them of terrorism. It's terrorism.
That's not what begging the question. But what do you think terrorism is?
Yeah, it wasn't begging the question. That's what I'm telling you.
What do you think terrorism is?
Terrorism is using terror.
Wow. That's begging the question. Okay.
How is it begging the question? It's terrorism. You think the word terror might not be in the definition of terrorism?
Begging the question is circular reasoning. Now,
that's not circular reasoning.
I'll actually
ism. If there's an ism at the end of it, then probably the fucking root word is going to go into the definition, you dipshit.
So elaborate.
You think phalangism might bring up the word phalange at some point?
So elaborate. You probably have to elaborate then. So you can say terrorism is
I would probably have to finish the definition before you fucking jump in and try to say it's circular logic.
You paused. I thought you were done.
No.
There's not that much space to talk in these conversations, so I just have to jump in whenever there's
No,
space.
it's okay.
Tell me what terrorism is.
Terrorism is when you use coercive threats of terror or violence in order to affect the on-the-ground political situation of a certain area. Basically, try to scare the populace into doing what you want through threats of violence, coercion, what have you. Anything that can make them afraid enough to go against their own best interests and do what you want them to do.
So, what if you target militants, but the fact that you've targeted militants yields collateral damage, and then the civilian population gets scared? Is that terrorism?
Yeah.
So basically, every military strike in urban warfare is terrorism.
Yeah, a lot of them actually kind of are. That's
Okay,
why you got to avoid
anti-war. Then start with that. Don't pretend to have a fucking reasonable position on this conflict.
I have a fucking. What do you mean anti-war? I'm a fucking combat veteran, dipshit. First off, anti-war is a good position to be in. I don't know if you understand that you sound like a fucking moron when you come out when you're pro-war. What the fuck does that mean? If you've never fought one, I don't know really how you can take that side. You know, you're kind of talking about other people's glory there.
Anti-war until your country's being attacked, right? That's kind of how things change a little bit.
You're still anti-war. You want to win. If you're pro-war, you want the war to continue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pro-war to yield.
Yeah, that's actually kind of the point. That's kind of the issue with Israelis is that they want the fucking war to go on indefinitely, so that they continue.
You think Israel wants the war to go with Hezbollah indefinitely? Why do you think that?
Because they want to. They first off, goddamn Netanyahu just wants to stay in power or whatever. Who gives a shit? But also, when you can start fucking inching down other fucking chunks of a population, and constantly justify it as an act of self-defense, eventually you're going to successfully genocide that population. It just works.
Are they trying to genocide Lebanon?
I don't know. Probably. Who cares?
Based on what?
I don't know. The terror attack they committed.
Israel has no interest in genociding. What the genocide that?
It was that they've invaded twice now. What? Right? Didn't they fucking just completely destroy Lebanon's infrastructure in the 2000s?
in 2006? Was that before or after they left Lebanon and then Hezbollah responded by firing thousands of rockets over the space of 6 years? Why did Israel leave Lebanon if they want to genocide them and like keep the war going forever? Why did they leave Lebanon in 2000?
More than
Why did the
likely,
UN actually
more than
say,
likely,
"Yeah, you've
probably
gone
because they're
beyond the
so
blue line"?
more than likely because they're so fucking bad at fighting, they can't leave the Iron Dome or they get wiped. Honestly.
Okay, so they left Lebanon. So that doesn't really answer my question. Then
That kind of does. And it's strategic retreat because they can't hold territory. Is that not? Is that not in the military?
They left for strategic retreat.
Huh? What was it?
They left for strategic retreat. So why did they only hit back at Lebanon when Hezbollah hit them first after Israel left?
Wait, I don't
You don't know
care.
anything about
I
this
don't
conflict.
care. I don't
know why you're
care.
coming in puffing your fucking chest.
I don't care. That's the
Yes,
point.
you
I don't
do
give a
care,
fuck.
because you just asserted that Israel's goal was to keep the war with Lebanon going forever.
You're going
and they
off
wanted
onto other
genocide
fucking
the
tangents
Lebanese.
to distract from the
You're
fact
one
that you
who
have
said
no
that.
idea that
You don't
this
know
is
what
a
you're
terror
talking
attack.
about. You just made that up.
No, you're
just
trying to
that
get a
out of
fake
thin air.
own. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up with
You
this
said
weak
something that
shit.
was wrong,
Why?
and I called
I'm
it
talking
out,
about
and
shit
you
that happened in the
don't
last 2
care.
days.
Because
I was
you don't know
already
anything
talking
about
about
the
this.
history.
You
You
have
don't
to
know anything about
rewind
the
the clock 15 years to talk about shit.
Israel didn't
I
even
don't
have
give a
the Dome in
fuck. In order to
2000. Why did you bring
justify
that
it,
up?
random fucking kids getting blown up by goddamn pager bombs yesterday or today or
Did
tomorrow.
Israel have the Iron Dome in 2000?
I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Why?
did you
What
mention
about? No,
that?
no. Shut the fuck up,
The
loaner
Israeli
box.
pullout.
You goddamn genocide excuser. What in the fuck does this have to do with fucking pager bombs? Why are you fucking changing everything up so much? Why are you working
Because
so
you
hard?
asserted-
Why are you working so hard to take the fucking
Because
onus of
you
responsibility
asserted-
off of people that are killing children? Why are you doing
Because
that?
you asserted.
I don't give a fuck about
you
this.
asserted. Because you asserted that Israel is doing what they're doing because they want the war with Lebanon to go on forever because they want to genocide the Lebanese. That is a fucking brain.
No,
dead
I
thing to
didn't
say.
assert that. You
So I
asked
called
me
it
if that
out.
was a possible, and I said I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't leave a shit.
Yeah, you said
I don't give a
know
fuck.
what the
As a matter
when
of fact,
you realized you don't know what you're
you know what?
talking about.
I don't care. I literally don't give a fuck what their motivations
What else
are.
don't you know?
That doesn't change. That doesn't change the fact. Doesn't change the fact that it's a fucking war crime, does it? Because your motivation in causing a war
I
crime
don't think
doesn't
it's
really
determined
change
that
it.
It's a war crime. There's
Huh?
a dispute.
How would
over
you
whether
know?
it's a
You've
war
never
crime.
read
You
the fucking Geneva
articles on it.
Conventions. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at.
I've read the section of the Geneva Convention. I've read the Lieber Institute article on it.
Then how are you
today,
fucking stumbling
discussed
over
the-
booby traps? How do you fucking not know that?
Because
How many
there
Geneva Conventions are
definitions
there?
Because in the booby traps definition of the additional protocol 2, which Israel signed up to, they do make exceptions for military objectives, and a military objective might include.
What does it
the kind
say
of
in the
people-
fucking next segment? Read out the next segment. I know where you are because we read it on stream. What does it say in the
either
next one?
or part? Are you
No.
confusing
The fucking
or
the
part?
literal
the
the
warning
right
part,
underneath
yeah,
it.
the warning, or you can do a warning, yeah. That's the next part.
No. There's a
Or.
part literally in that subsection that says you cannot create a fucking booby trap device that you can pick up and take with you that looks harmless.
That's the previous section. What comes after that?
It doesn't
That's the
matter.
bit I just read to you.
Doesn't matter. That's a fucking subset. That you can't
It's
create.
no, it's not a subset. It's the next paragraph.
There's nothing that comes up after that that defeats that. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes,
how does it
there is.
count it? Does it say it specifically?
That's the entire discourse. I can send you legal scholars talking about it if you don't trust me on it. Do you want me to do that?
I don't know.
We can
I
read it
don't
together.
trust
We
you to be able to
I
read.
like
You read
doing
it the first time. I watched you just do it on fucking stream. I fucking want to bring it up and I can't fucking find it.
I'm on it. I'll show you. Hang on. This is the kind of stream I like doing, by the way. I like just reading through things, okay? Because
Well, you should fucking
I
try
don't
to
think you
read
even
through
know
a
my
fucking
position on this.
counterinsurgency. I don't
So-
care. I don't care what your position is.
you're reading the prohibited to use booby traps, apparently harmless objects, but I think the bit after it, which does actually introduce nuance, is without prejudice, the provisions of Article 3, it is prohibited to use weapons which this article applies in any city, town, village, or other area containing similar concentration of civilians in which combat between ground forces is not taking place or does not appear to be imminent, unless either A, they are placed on or in the close vicinity of a military objective.
Yeah, that's
These
you're
were
wrong
placed-
about that, by the way.
These were placed in the close vicinity of a military objective.
No, they weren't.
i.e.
They
The
were
soldiers
placed-
who were
they're-
attacking
that's-
Israel. Yeah, who were
That's
engaged
not how that
in
works.
an armed conflict
That's
with
not
Israel.
a fucking military objective. Personnel are
is.
different.
Hang on, I'll find you. Really, are you sure about that? Are you sure that there's no precedent for anyone describing combatants as military objectives?
I don't give a fuck about a
telling
goddamn
me I-
fake president.
telling
What,
me-
is it somebody else that
what
fucking
fake
justified war
president?
crimes and they got to
Fake
they got to
precedent.
shake it off?
I
Yeah,
got this
horse
from the Red
precedents that
Cross.
fucking mistake the fucking the rule of war. But
So I can
anyway,
get this from the Red Cross website.
I know you're also reading this shit piecemeal, so I have to double and triple check it anyway. I don't trust anything you're actually saying.
That's why I said I can show you sources. That's why I actually got this from legal scholars. I got this from the Lieber Institute article. So
Amended protocol. Definitions: mine, Roman, anti-personnel mine. Booby trap means any device or material. Yeah, okay. Military objective means, in this, so far as objects are concerned, any object which by its nature, location, purpose, or use makes an effective contribution to military action and whose total or partial destruction, capture, or neutralization in the circumstances ruling at the time offers a definite military advantage. It doesn't say people.
And you're not, okay, that's the Rule 8, right? Definition of military objectives. And I can show you case law where people say things like insurgents who continuously take part in the armed conflict, the example they use here is the Taliban, are not civilians but legitimate military objectives. You know, there's a difference between just reading
but also,
the letter of the law
no. Actually, also, though. But it says there
precedent. Yes.
They are placed on or in the close vicinity of a military objective, or measures are taken to protect civilians from their effects. For example, the posting of warning sentries, the issues of warnings, are the provisions of offenses.
Either or. Yes, either or.
Without precedent, the President Article 3 is prohibited to use weapons. Also, this does not change anything about the previous prohibition, because it's just a different subsection. It is prohibited to use booby traps or other devices in the form of apparently harmless portable objects, which are specifically designed and constructed to contain explosive material.
Why would they add a part to say it's prohibited to use weapons, which this article applies, which would be booby traps, because the article on booby traps, and then mention.
Do you know how a booby trap works? Hold on. Actually, we're kind of fucking on this. Do you know what a booby trap is? Do you know how it works?
Yeah. They can work in a few ways. One can be that it's triggered just by like opening a door, as in like you don't trigger it remotely, or they can be remotely triggered. They list examples above.
Yeah. Do you know what placed in this means? It means like
they even say here kitchen utensils or appliances, except in military establishments, military locations, or military supply depots. So even if
it's not one of those things, you know, it doesn't count, right? But also the second one, you're missing it completely. Okay. It doesn't justify anything. It literally means you can't be able to pick up the fucking explosive device because it looks harmless and then take it somewhere else. That's the prohibition. You can have a booby trap near the guy, which means you can place it by him somewhere. You can even put it on him if it explodes on him, but he can't be able to pick it up and take it somewhere. Do you know why? Can you say why that's bad?
No, tell me.
Because other people can too. Because anyone can pick it up, and then it can blow up somewhere else in a non-military area. You can move controlled explosions out of uncontrolled areas. This is like why we're getting back into it. We're slowing down. I know you have like other sources.
There was a reasonable expectation that a piece of equipment that is being used for military communications is not very likely to be en masse getting passed around the civilian population.
It's a pager. It's a fucking pager, not a fucking Perk 118. It's a fucking black piece of plastic.
Everyone who was close enough to those pagers to die was a militant. Yeah, about.
Clearly they weren't, because we're getting reports back that they weren't all militant. So you're full of shit. You're just literally fucking bending over fucking backwards to justify kids dying.
Barring three people. It's a
three people. Fucking three too many people. It's a specific thing that's supposed to kill specific individuals, and now it's going out and killing randoms.
So it's only a legitimate strike if it's 100%.
Yeah, literally.
So you think Israel should never actually attempt to fight Hezbollah ever, because Hezbollah
basically, yeah, dude. Israel's shit. They're one of the worst militaries that's ever existed. They're highly incompetent. They can't shut anything down. They're bad at fighting Hezbollah. They've never stopped them before.
It's always option 2. Israel should just let Hezbollah fire rockets at them indefinitely and just hope for mercy one day. Right? That's
literally not option 2. That's what I was saying. I knew you piece of shit. That's an answer begging question, by the way. You assumed that second option's the only option. You piece of shit. That is trash.
Your case is.
It's literally not. You can do diplomacy. There's a lot of other things. There's a lot of other things
with Hezbollah. What diplomacy is supposed to happen with Hezbollah? They ignored the resolution after the war. There was an attempt at diplomacy. Hezbollah.
DC, are you there? Hello.
What diplomacy is Israel engaging with fucking Hezbollah?
You had a 10-second cutout.
I want to hear that. You made that.
You had a 10-second cut. I didn't hear a thing.
Put it out there.
It just ended with you yelling at me about Hezbollah again.
What diplomacy do you think Israel's supposed to engage with Hezbollah on? There was a Security Council resolution after the 2006 war that told Hezbollah to move their arms past the Litani and to allow the Lebanese government to consolidate control. They ignored it. They did not enter negotiations over territory like the Sheba farms or anything, because they are literally a non-state group that is devoted to trying to destroy Israel. Diplomacy. What the are you talking about? You don't know anything about this conflict.
Well, it's not diplomacy with them, it's diplomacy with somebody else. There's just other things to do. You can't end a terror cell by indiscriminately attacking the terror cell and making more terrorists. You're just describing some dumb shit.
Tell us what they should do then. Give us a suggestion.
Literally stop killing civilians. Stop doing it. Do everything in your power to stop killing civilians. Which also means don't even attempt to target Hezbollah. Basically, yeah, because literally you only make it worse. Like, yeah, actually,
so really, if you hide amongst civilians, you can actually just do whatever the you want then, can you?
Kind of, yeah, that's kind of the point of hiding amongst civilians, is that other people, normal human beings, don't kill all of the civilians. We had to deal with this when I was in Iraq. You know what we did? We fucking aimed through scopes and shot the guys in the head, and it didn't hit anyone else. Drone warfare shit was bullshit. It was trash.
The American army didn't.
I was not in the army. Shut up. I was not in the army. I was a Marine.
Okay.
Fucking gangster shit.
Obviously, a lot of thank you for your service. Obviously, a lot of civilians died in the Iraq War. That's a horrible example. Also,
did they die all the time? When did they die? When did they die? They died when we did indiscriminate attacks, and it was a fucking mistake, and it made the war drag on. You fucking idiot.
Obviously, Iraq was not bordering America and launching attacks at America.
Oh, shut the fuck up with this Israeli belly aching shit.
The stakes are slightly different.
God damn it.
The stakes are slightly different, though.
They weren't for me. I was there, dumb. They were bordering me. They're literally outside my fucking fob shooting at me. Are you fucking stupid?
Okay, I'm talking about national.
I don't give a fuck about national shit. You know what we did? We still didn't shoot civilians. Okay. You moron. Okay. You don't have a fucking point. Yeah, every time indiscriminate bombings happened in Iraq, every time there was ancillary, additional death, excess death in the civilian population, we had more insurgents every fucking year. And then the goddamn Sunni awakening happened. All of Ramadi flipped over, and then we stopped killing kids, and the whole war chilled the fuck out. But Israel doesn't want to do that. Israel wants more land, so they want to keep killing kids and continue doing conflicts, so they can just push.
You're saying they want. You think what land in Lebanon does Israel want?
Who knows? I don't give a fuck what their desires are.
Then stop fucking saying things that you don't know are
because
true.
I don't trust anything about the Israelis. I will accuse them of anything. I don't give a fuck. They're untrustworthy. They lie. You know they do the Hezbollah. All that bullshit. They lie about statistics. They lie about injuries. They lie about what the happening. They lie about the income that comes in. They don't give a. They don't give a. I'm always going to assume people that will kill kids are going to do the worst possible thing that they can get away with, because that's usually what they do. People that don't give a about killing kids, who the knows how far they're going to go? But they continuously do it. They don't give a shit about ending the conflict, because they're doing the one thing that you should not do when you're trying to end a insurgency. Kill kids. They just keep killing kids. Endless death. Kids. Random people at supermarkets, and I got dipshits like you. So you think that they don't have the right to defend themselves? Like, they're not even defending themselves. More fucking Israeli civilians are dying because the IDF is fucking incompetent as shit. More Israelis are going to die because of this. Tons of them are going to fucking die. It's going to go away for 5 years, 6 years, and then all the kids whose dad's balls exploded because their pager went off are going to fucking turn into goddamn terrorists and go and shoot up another thing, and you're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, don't they have the time? Why can't they fucking defend themselves?" Because they're bad at it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they're trash at it. That's why they're garbage.
The problem is that
the Israelis cannot fucking end a counterinsurgency to literally save their own lives, the lives of fucking Israelis. They can't do it. They're incompetent.
I don't think they're trying to end Hezbollah. I think they're just trying to stop Hezbollah from firing rockets at them or to get their military capabilities reduced.
How are you going to do that by just randomly killing people in supermarkets, and then also like 60% of them happen to be insurgents? How many insurgents do they have left?
Where did you get 60%?
That's the one I read earlier today. So, what is that? Do we have that up there?
They didn't randomly kill people. Most of the people they killed were militants.
Slate article.
If you
say most of the people they killed were militants, that doesn't mean all the people they killed were militants. So they randomly killed people. You know that, right? That's definitionally what you're saying.
Means. That's not what random means.
Who else died? Who else died? Was it specific people, or was it literally any other random person?
That's not what random means.
That is what random means, you idiot. Are you serious? You're literally doing your best to justify indiscriminate killing. When you stop discriminating and you have indiscriminate targets that you haven't discriminated against, that's indiscriminate murder. Those are random fucking people. Random
targets.
Obviously they weren't, because not all Hezbollah people died. You keep saying that, but it's not true. It's literally a lie. You are lying to me and your audience. So if somebody else dies
if you
from the
target
pager
building-
that you say doesn't go further than one person, it either goes further than one person and you're a liar, or it goes only to one person and civilians died, which means that it was indiscriminate. You moron. That's basic logic. You're an idiot, Loner Box.
A 37 out of 40 ratio, and it's indiscriminate.
It's a ratio. The other part of the ratio is random people.
So
that's what random means, Loner Box.
If there's a military objective that has like 7 soldiers and 1 civilian and you hit it, is that an indiscriminate strike?
Yeah, if you didn't discriminate against that civilian, it's indiscriminate. Why did you kill that civilian too? Yeah, you indiscriminately killed a civilian. You didn't discriminate between civilians and combatants. That's what that means. That's what that fucking means. It's even better because this wasn't a mass bombing with a bunch of different people in it. It was pagers that they sent out, and by your own fucking little Hezbollah brain trying to justify shit, you said it wouldn't go further than one person. We can assume that that's true, which means other people, individual random people, were killed by the fucking pager, Loner Box, and you're not even addressing that. You're not even addressing that. Those are random people. Who was it? If you don't know who it was, it's just some random person.
I addressed it. I said it was reasonable to assume that they wouldn't cause that much damage in a radius around the explosion, which seems to have been true because it
randomly killed other independent civilians. That's it. That still justifies my point.
Yeah, so it was a reasonable assumption to believe that this yielded low collateral damage, which it seems to have done. Yeah.
It also isn't really that reasonable of an assumption because you don't know how explosives
work. Why not? It was right. It yielded low collateral damage. Yeah. What are you talking about? It absolutely was a reasonable assumption.
But they killed fucking civilians. And other people were injured. Do you know what low collateral damage means? Like, what is collateral? Do you know what collateral damage even is? If like thousands, this is Slate. Slate said they got this as Operation Temperature with about 5,000 pagers. So we have 5,000 pagers out here, according to the Slate article. And then the Hezbollah walkie-talkies, at least 9 people were killed and 300 people were injured. We don't know exactly who the fuck was injured because your side of things isn't paying enough goddamn attention to it. And let's see, they said about 2,800 people are said to be injured, but it's not known how many of those are Hezbollah or how serious those injuries are. 2 of those killed are said to be children. So, like, either you are fucking, it is actually...
Are you still talking, or did you... Oh.
You're fucking stuck here. So either it is not low collateral damage because 2,800 people at least are fucking injured and 2 kids are dead, or it's completely indiscriminate killing because 2 kids are dead and it actually is close. So, like, literally you're wrong either way.
That doesn't
pick a direction. Pick a direction that you want to go. No, it's not. It's not. You just have to pretend it is because you're getting fucking owned right now. Like literally, what in the fuck is your goddamn response to this? Other than
people that I'm getting owned because everyone would forget otherwise. You need to do that whenever you remember to. Don't forget.
I will. Yeah. You're getting fucked right now. Like seriously.
It's funny you say that because you're getting fucked right now.
No, I'm not.
Because you even admitted that you don't know or care what Israel's intentions are, so you'll just make them up.
I don't give a shit. No. Seriously, no. Literally. I finally do. I admit it. I'm triple downing on it. Triple down. I don't give a fuck what their intentions are. They're killing kids. I don't give a fuck. Do you care? What do they say that lets them kill kids, Loner Box? What's the minimum? What's the minimum level for you to fucking watch a child die? Have you ever done that? By the way, I have. I got to listen. No, seriously. Check this out. Check this out. Like this actually happened to me when I was in Iraq. The insurgents missed a mortar, and I listened to a woman scream over her dying child for like 4 hours. Nightmare.
Well, I guess no.
It was crazy.
I guess
it was
no
crazy. What would here? Okay.
No country
how can I get you there?
No country.
I want you to imagine a child, Loner Box, and I want to watch you. I want you to imagine watching it die. I want you to look into its eyes while it's dying and tell me how you get there. Get me there, Loner Box.
Arab grave to try and get a point out of me. Is this what you?
I'm standing on. I'm standing in the grave, baby. I'm in the grave. This is the fucking hell I live in, baby. I know the fucking horrors of war. This is all theoretical to you.
I can tell you've processed it in the most healthy fucking way possible.
I have because I'm anti-war and I'm anti-killing kids. You wouldn't do that shit, and you fucking are you're cool with it. Don't stand on the dead Arabs, bro. You're trotting over them to justify Israeli war crimes and terrorism. You're garbage, man. I was getting ready to treat you nice about this, but literally, Loner Box, tell me. I want you to look into the eyes of an imaginary child and tell me the minimum accomplishment military that you can give to that kid and say like, hey kid, look, I'm gonna fucking put a bullet in you for an Israeli today. Just tell me what you need to get there. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
You realize that I know you're not going to let me talk because it's just like you're just arguing that no country should ever fight another country ever. They should never retaliate to anything ever. No one should ever fight any war ever because some kids might die. That's the argument you're making here.
You should literally avoid conflict at all possibilities.
Ukraine shouldn't fight with Russia because some Russian kids might die. Who knows?
Ukraine is fighting with Russia because Russia is invading Ukraine and they're trying to get them to go. Ukraine didn't want to fight Russia at all. Ukraine wants the conflict to end and they want territory back.
But now you need to produce evidence that Israel wanted a war with Lebanon. Why did they leave in 2000?
I don't give a what their justifications are for killing kids.
Yeah, so
the Ukrainians aren't even in Russia killing children. So what the fuck was the point of that? Why do you keep dodging all the dead children?
Ukraine is in Russia right now. Some Ukrainian strikes.
No, I guess now they're in Kursk, aren't they?
The Kursk bridge, and the Kursk bridge, civilians died there, right? If one of them was a kid, should they have not done that strike?
You should have avoided killing the kid at all possible costs. And I'm sure they probably felt bad about it.
Oh, you mean
did they actually look? Did they actually look? Did they do drone warfare as they do? Because the entire border in Ukraine is covered in fucking drones. Accidents do happen, and you have to live with them for the rest of your life. You try to avoid them. You don't send booby-trapped pagers in there. You're changing the entire thing. Ukraine didn't do a fucking terror attack. They attacked a legitimate military
target that was being used by civilians as well, like the Hezbollah soldiers who were legitimate military targets.
Well, who were doing what? Going to a market, which was a legitimate target for what?
You know full well that is not the way you discern whether or not someone is a
That's literally how you discern whether or not to attack somebody is if you're going to fucking kill
people like Hezbollah. Their soldiers of Hezbollah would have a continuous combat function. It doesn't matter if they're in the market or not. They are still targets. If they're on civilians, what that does is it just means that there has to be a collateral estimation.
Man. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids.
Same with Ukraine and the Kursk bridge.
Tell me I'm standing on the graves of Arab children again. I want you to say that one. How would they possibly know
who was crossing the bridge at that particular point?
Bro, Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, you've already admitted that you think Israel is the one that started this war with Lebanon, so I don't even know.
I mean,
when you say Ukraine,
I don't care.
I
think I said repeatedly I don't give a shit.
They're getting attacked.
I think actually repeatedly I said I don't give a shit.
So it's okay
I don't care. I don't care.
It's okay for Ukraine. It's okay for Ukraine to respond to an aggressor, but not Israel.
The way that you actually fucking respond is the case because Ukraine didn't send a bunch of fucking pagers with bombs in it into a civilian area. Now, did they? They didn't, and you know that.
No, they just blew up civilians on a bridge.
Yeah, it's a bridge. It's a fucking bridge. It's a military target, and it's fucking. It absolutely sucks that a few kids died. That's fucking miserable. I'm pretty sure the people that did that are fucking going to be haunted for the rest of their lives because they're not Israelis.
It's interesting that you're talking about kids as well, because the same militants in Hezbollah who were targeted in these pager attacks were the same people, the same military that killed 12 kids in the Golan Heights.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have fucking done that. It's bad. It's bad. Really? They should also fucking cut it the fuck out. It's a military ineffective. So why are you fucking trying to justify what Israel does by letting them also do more terrorism that's already bad? So I have to pick between two fucking terrorists. You're just saying like, yeah, Israel can do this because the other terrorists did another terrorist thing. We have terrorists versus terrorists. Tyler, when will you stop handicapping my country? They're doing terrorist activities.
I mean, I thought, so the bridge wasn't terrorism because it was collateral damage with a legitimate military target, but for some reason it's not with Israel, even though the people they hit were legitimate military targets. I don't understand the...
Well, because the people they hit weren't legitimate military targets. No, they're not. No, because you're literally lying again. You're literally making shit up to try to justify your fucking side. You're completely changing the fucking way that the military operation even was undertaken. It's fucking sending pagers. Literally fucking pagers. Nondescript, harmless items into a civilian center and then having them randomly explode when you can't see what the fuck is going to happen. Well, it's an indiscriminate terrorist attack and you're justifying it. Attacking a bridge is attacking a fucking bridge. That's attacking a fucking bridge. Someone can actually make the decision about attacking the bridge because they can see the fucking bridge before they attack it. You can't do that when you send
the civilians on the bridge then because they saw. So they mean they saw civilians on the bridge and hit it anyway? Is that
probably? I guess if they did, then they did. They fucking took that into account and made a direct attack. They did. That's collateral damage. That's actually how it works.
Yeah, just as the Israelis seems to correctly so far.
No, they have not. They have not, and by your own admission.
Correctly identify that
because each individual pager is a different attack. Because one bomb hits the fucking bridge, you have 5,000 bombs. 5,000 fucking bombs in Lebanon randomly exploding fucking anybody. You're trying to articulate the difference between.
They knew
You're trying to pretend that there's no difference between two completely different military tactics, one of which is completely standard and above the board and is disgraceful in its loss of human life. That's Collateral. That fucking sucks. And another one which doesn't take the loss of human life into account at all, other than to say we're going to have Loner Box excuse this for people here later down the line because we are for certain going to randomly kill any fucking person that picks up one of these things. We have no fucking idea who it's going to be.
Okay.
The people who were on the bridge were on the bridge. They saw them. You didn't see who had the fucking pagers. You didn't see them.
Lucky then? Do you think they got lucky? Do you think they just got lucky that 37 out of 40 people who died from those pagers were Hezbollah?
That's not luck. Fucking three
random.
people that didn't. Three people didn't. Also, what about the thousands that were injured? Thousands injured, Loner Box. What about them?
Again, well, we don't know about how
many.
Oh,
shit. Fuck me. God damn it. I got to use the one number that's like 37 out of 40. The 37 out of 4,000 or whatever the fuck. 37 out of 2,400. That's a little harder of a fucking number, isn't it, Loner Box, to deal with? The fucking 0.001% success rate is a little bit more difficult to fucking deal with. Jesus Christ, it's like infecting people and sending them into a village. Can we not infect people? They were a military target, and then they get everybody sick. You're just doing fucking war crimes apologia.
Well, why did you assume that most of the people injured were civilians? Why do you keep assuming that?
Because until you fucking discriminate that they're fucking enemy combatants, they are to be assumed civilian, you fucking monster. You don't shoot someone unless you know who the fuck they are. You animal. You dog. Are you serious? Why the fuck did you just say that? Are you out of your fucking mind? You just came out in support of war crimes, Loner Box. You discriminate against them. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever fucking heard. Like, I'm actually ashamed of you as a human being. Oh, how do you know the 2,400 people? How do you know not all of them are civilians? Are you fucking serious? That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. How do the people that fucking dropped the goddamn pagers off not know? How do they not know? Because they didn't care. Because it's an indiscriminate terror attack.
You know that IRGC.
Do you know how they know? Do you know how they know what happened on the Ukraine bridge? Because they fucking aimed the bomb. They knew exactly who was going to die. It was not indirect.
The IRGC guys literally said that these pagers were for Hezbollah people, for soldiers.
Yes, okay, then why the fuck are they killing so many goddamn civilians and injuring them?
What do you mean killing so many goddamn civilians?
More than any one. 3.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
If they're fucking so fucking accurate, why do I keep having to hear a fucking ratio gum up that you're so fucking proud of when I only killed just a few kids and I only fucking injured a few thousand people?
You're confusing accurate with perfect. I don't know why you're doing that. You would never make this. You'd never hold the standard up for any other country.
I did. I did. I just did, and I literally did. I literally did, and you're fucking lying, dude. Don't do the Hezbollah shit. I'm fucking on point with this. Are you out of your fucking mind? I literally upheld that standard. Stop treating fucking Israel like the fucking unpowdered baby bitches that they fucking are. These fucking low-rent cowards cannot fucking defend themselves without having every fucking option.
Trying to tell me why it's different. You still haven't explained why the collateral estimates for Ukraine is different. For some reason, it's collateral when Ukraine does it, but when Israel doesn't, it doesn't make any sense.
Because literally they're not using indiscriminate attacks. Dumb fuck.
It wasn't indiscriminate.
It was indiscriminate. That's why you don't know who got hit, because they didn't discriminate. I keep saying that. You're a fucking idiot for not accepting it. I don't know how to. I don't know how to fucking hammer that home. You can either discriminate and then you know what you're shooting at, or you can shoot wildly and then it's indiscriminate. When you just hand out pagers and then random fucking people that you didn't intend to died, that's indiscriminate.
It's reasonable expectation.
It's not reasonable.
Standard. It's not.
What do you mean reasonable expectation? It's like saying I spray. You can just go to the market and fucking spray and pray when there's fucking Hezbollah people there. And if you hit 3 of them and kill them, and then you injure fucking 400 more, you're like, oh shit, this is a good day. This is a good fucking day.
I have a question for you. Is it reasonable to assume that communication devices for militants, for performing military action, are most likely going to be in the hands of militants at most times?
No, because those are not military. Those are not military fucking communications devices. They're civilian. They are civilian communication devices that look like civilian communication devices that are being used by militants. The fucking cell phone I had when I was in the military was not my fucking Perk 118 I went on patrol with, you fucking idiot. It doesn't look like a military device. It looks like a civilian device. That's why
Okay,
everyone
so
thought
you're
it was
just-
harmless.
Now you're literally disagreeing with like the Iranians themselves when they said that these communication devices were being used by militants. So I'll ask you
No,
again,
I didn't. I
is
literally,
it-
you fucking just made that up. I
is
said
it
literally they're
reasonable?
being used by militants. They
Okay,
are not
yes.
military communications devices.
Okay,
They are
is it
civilian
reasonable
devices
then?
being
Okay.
used by militants.
That
If somebody
doesn't change
uses
my
my
question.
fucking
That
XP
doesn't-
pen to draw the goddamn Hamas flag, it does not make my XP pen tablet
was my,
a fucking terrorist XP pen tablet. Dipshit.
was my
It's still a
question?
civilian device.
What was my question?
Your question is, why the fuck are you so stoked about goddamn killing kids?
What did I ask you? What question are you even answering right now with that tirade? What were you answering?
Why? What the fuck do you mean?
Were you even listening to me? Shall I
What
ask it
is
again?
your question, dumb fuck? Repeat it.
My question was, do you think it is not a reasonable expectation to think that a piece of communication equipment that was being used by militants to perform military actions?
Oh, no. That wasn't your question. Actually, I did
was
remember.
most likely going to be
I
in
did
the hands
remember.
of
You said
militants?
military communication equipment. Which
Oh,
just
I'm
tries
sorry.
to rephrase,
I
because you're trying to
apologize
rephrase the fuck.
profusely.
You should, because
Okay.
there's actually a distinction.
So-
You know that, right? You ever seen a Humvee?
Mhm.
You ever seen a Humvee, like an Up Armor Humvee, a military vehicle? Does it look like a fucking Honda Civic to you? Kind of looks
No,
different,
not
right?
really. Okay,
Yeah.
so now that
Oh, it doesn't look different than a Honda Civic? A fucking Humvee? They're not distinct. You ever seen like an F-18 Hornet? Does it look like a fucking commuter jet?
So I'm gonna ask my question again.
Have you ever seen like have you ever seen like an M240 Golf medium
I don't know
machine
why
gun?
you're so
Does it look-
uncomfortable with this question.
I'm not uncomfortable with it at all. You're literally misphrasing it
realized
intentionally
why.
to try to justify things, and you've phrased it twice, or you've
Was that
rephrased it
device
twice.
being used? So were those devices being used by militants or no? Yes, you agree they were. So
Well,
is it
yeah.
not
Oh no.
reasonable to
Look,
assume-
you had three
Is it not
rephrases.
reasonable-
Please fucking play that back. That's the
Is it
third time you've
reasonable to
rephrased the
assume-
goddamn question to try to
Is it
walk back how
reasonable-
fucking psychotic your first one was.
Is it reasonable to assume that those devices would be in the hands of militants most of the time?
No, because it's a civilian communications
You have no
equipment.
fucking- Okay. Oh,
It's only the
it was
only
being
reason
used
you
by
know that it's
Hezbollah.
going to
It
be
was
in the
ordered
fucking
by
hands of
It was
Hezbollah
shit.
is
Okay,
because
so
you
you're-
gave
okay,
it to
okay,
them.
yes.
That's
You
the
are
only
making
reason.
arguments-
Anyone
you are
else that
making
sees it,
arguments for-
come on.
You were making arguments for Hezbollah that they didn't even make for themselves. They admitted that these communication devices were used by the military, that they were exclusively for the militants to use.
Yeah,
for
because
their
the
operations.
militants themselves
You
were
just made an
using them, you
excuse
fucking idiot. It's
for
not an exclusive
terrorists.
device.
You
It's
just
not an
made an
exclusive
excuse
device
for-
that's only
you
used
just-
by terrorists, you
just made
fucking
a-
idiot.
you just
It's an
made an
old
excuse. You
Japanese
just made an
pager.
excuse.
I did not make a fucking
You just made an
excuse at all. You're
for
literally
Hezbollah
making up my
that
fucking
they didn't
answer.
Even make themselves. You just made an excuse for baby killers that they didn't even make themselves. That's
I
what you
think that
did.
they're trash too. I'd fucking put Hezbollah up against the wall, but
then
I'd
why
make
are
sure
you
it was
making
all
excuses
Hezbollah
for
before I
them?
fucking started shooting and not mix a
So you
few
think it
kids
wasn't-
in for good measure.
So you think it wasn't reasonable for Israel to believe that these devices were in the hands of Hezbollah?
No, because they can't follow
No.
the fucking goddamn. Maybe if you toss it to the guy and you see him, then he fucking set it off. Yeah, okay, I can see him. When the
So-
guy fucking
so-
leaves your sight, you're no longer guiding the munition. It could go fucking
Oh.
anywhere.
So you
Once-
think they might have given these pagers to Hezbollah somehow and had the ability, had the level of information to get Hezbollah to get pagers from this particular company, from this straw company, but they didn't. But then what? Like Hezbollah gets the pagers and then a guy just like gives it as a fucking birthday present to his kids? What?
Sure. How do you know that it didn't happen? What if he just takes it out of his
Probably because
pocket?
most of the people
What
who
if he
died
just
were
takes it out of his pocket and sets it down on the kitchen table, Loner Box? What if he drops it?
Okay.
Loner Box,
Well,
what if
that
he
would be-
hands it to his friend? Hey man, can you check
Oh,
that for me real
you
quick?
weren't
Blop,
so I
blop, blop, blop. Random fucking people can pick it up because it
Right.
doesn't look like military technology, you
So
dipshit.
that's why I said
Somebody
most.
in the military using something does not mean it is immediately military technology.
That's
When I
why
walked
I
around
said-
on roads in uniform, it didn't turn it
That's
into
why-
it didn't turn it into fucking a military causeway.
That's why I said mostly. You weren't listening.
The
That's why I
mostly
said
is
most of
pointless.
the time.
The mostly is pointless in this.
It's
because
not
the other
reasonable
side
to
of the
assume.
mostly, the other side
It
of the
is-
mostly
it's not
is
pointless. That's how
always
you make
just
a
killing
collateral
children with
estimation.
you. Every
That's how you
mostly
make a
with you
collateral
is like
assessment.
trying to get yourself past fucking 51% so that you can put a few more bullets in fucking children and random
It
fuckos
wasn't
buying
past 51%
mangoes at the market.
By the looks of it, but okay.
What?
So it's more likely to assume that like half of the Hezbollah fighters would be giving their pagers to other people. These are pagers that they're using for military operations. How often do you think a fucking militant in Lebanon is using their fucking piece of equipment that they're using for military operations and just dishing it around the civilian
Where's your
population?
phone right now,
This is
Loner
not a
Box?
reasonable
Loner Box,
expectation.
where's your phone? Where's your phone? Is it in your pocket?
I'm not a militant.
Is but you're a human being, right? Where's your communication device you carry with? Is it in your pocket? Is it on your table? Has your wife ever picked it up? Your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you got?
No,
As a
it's
kid,
good thing I'm not
has
militant.
anyone you know ever picked up your cell phone? Have you ever left it sitting somewhere and like, oh fuck, my cell phone?
It's a good thing I'm not attacking another country.
Well, it's a good
while
thing
I do
also that it wasn't full of fucking explosives, and then if somebody touched it, it fucking blew up in their face, you idiot.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that.
What's the counterexample to that? What's the counterexample to the reality of leaving fucking explosives that look like everyday objects, putting 5,000 of them into a random country and not telling a fucking soul about it? I don't know. Hey, guys, we got like at least 27 of these guys. There's thousands injured, thousands fucking injured. Who gives a shit? Hey, everybody, well, hold on. Lonerbox said it was a good ratio, okay? Lonerbox said it was cool. Go fucking get up, give that kid like a little bit of dash. Hey, a little one-arm kid.
You're just guessing for some reason.
You just because it's an indiscriminate attack. It's an indiscriminate attack, so you don't know. That's the point.
Well,
if I fucking aim a rifle, I shoot a guy, I can tell you, oh, I shot that guy. Look at him, he's bleeding to death. Boom, got him. But if I just start like aiming a gun into a fucking classroom and blah, 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 and then I hit like 1 or 2 people, I have to guess how many people I hit until I actually count the bodies because I was indiscriminately attacking them. You understand that, right? We're going to keep going back to this again and again. You can try to take it off fucking ramp, talk about fucking 10, 15 years ago, talk about anything else. Oh, well, you don't care about the conflict? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't think there's anything that justifies you fucking sending bomb pagers into a civilian area where kids can get to them. I think it's fucking weird that you would argue for it. I think you're a strange guy. I think you're a fucking weird dude, Lonerbox. Like, it's kind of creepy.
Well, I don't know why you just give yourself carte blanche to make stuff up then. You're the one who
because nobody knows, you fucking moron, so I can fucking war game it. If you knew the counter, if you had actually paid attention, they had paid attention who got killed, I would know. You could tell me, no, we specifically got these guys. I got it on camera. I saw them. You know all those fucking bombings that we do where the fucking camera goes down and hits the guy? Even when it's collateral damage, that means we have to we know who we killed. We can release the video. We can say what happened. You don't know. You don't fucking know. And you're just saying, oh, I'm going to guess it's for the best. I'm going to guess it's for the best. So it's all good.
Hang on.
I had good intentions. So if any fucking kids are dead, if anybody's dead in the market, if anybody died where no one knows because they had a fucking pager on them that they picked up, pickpocketed from a guy, found on the ground, got from their dad, got from their brother, who the fuck knows how they have it? They're bleeding to death in a fucking alley right now because no one told anyone that there's going to be 5,000 explosive pagers in a civilian area. It's an insane thing to defend. I'm going to keep going back to it. You're fucking weird for coming out in that. You're weird as fuck. Weird as fuck for coming out ahead of this.
So, okay, so you take a long time to say not that much at all. So if they knew...
No, I mean, I said a lot. I accused you of being a weird guy who's cool with civilian deaths, which you're going to continue defending right now. That's not a lot of nothing. That's me indicting you as a bad person and as a malicious actor that is trying to justify genocide, slaughter of civilians, and wanton terrorist acts by a terror state. I'm telling you, you're a bad person, Lonerbox. I'm telling you, you're fucking garbage.
Because they want more land,
The longer this conversation goes on, the more disgusted I am by you. So I don't give a fuck too much about letting you talk. Because you're not answering the most important questions. You're coming off like a fucking prick here.
I've answered every question.
You haven't answered any of them. You fucking dodged them. You've rephrased them. You fucking skipped back. It's all fucking recorded. Other people will pick this apart. Hi, Destiny, if you're fucking watching it. I know you're a fucking waiting room. What's up, Big D? Maybe I'll fucking talk to you about this sometime. I can fucking. You're the mini boss, right? I gotta beat you to go up to the fucking real guy.
If they knew that,
how many coins pop out of you when I fucking win this debate? Do I get like fucking a bunch? Do I get like 400 little coins?
Hey, wait,
can I buy a diamond pickaxe?
Just in case you forget. Sorry, I was gonna ask you if they knew that it was going to be 37 out of 40, would it be justified then if they knew?
It wasn't 37 out of 40, by the way. That's still made up. It's 37 out of like 2,400. So
no, for the
let's circle the whole fucking all the people. The casualty numbers in the thousands, dipshit. Wait. So we're doing it again. We're excusing the fucking injuries.
If it was
shit, somebody lost an eye, someone's bleeding to death. Fuck that. Give me the 2,000. Give me the 2,000. I want you to say it. 37 out of 2,400. Say it.
Okay.
Say it.
Any of that works?
Lonerbox, say 37 out of 2,400.
No,
I want you to fucking say the fucking ratio. Idiot. Why is yours right? Why is
That's not
yours
a
right?
true
You're
stat.
because fucking the Israelis said, I don't know if you know this, guys, but fucking October 7th happened. They need to kill some fucking kids. I'm good. I'm not gonna mention any of these fucking injuries. I'm not gonna say any of this shit. I fucking come out against every fucking dead child we talked about, every fucking civilian casualty. I say it's bad.
Just ask the question again when
Bad.
you're
It's
done, okay?
bad.
Just talk
America
about it.
did not. It was not justified in killing any civilians in Iraq, which I participated in. I live with the guilt of that. It's disgusting that we killed any fucking civilians at all in that war. It's horrible. The depredation they
let's
still
say
go through is bad. However,
okay.
I got you here, some fucking uninvolved third party, trying to talk about me parading on fucking Arab kids' graves. You can't even mention the people who were injured in the attack of the country that you're stumping for.
Wait till he's done. Is he still talking?
Oh, is he muting me? I got my own audience, dipshit.
I don't care. I've got my
What?
audience. What's the point
Are
of
you
just letting
muting
you
me?
ramble? Can I ask my question again? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, can you see me?
Knew,
I'm not watching
let's
you.
Let's say they knew it was going to be, say, like a 90% ratio. They were going to kill 90% militants, 10% civilians. Would it be fine then?
But they didn't know. So who cares?
It's a hypothetical. I'm asking a hypothetical. Would it be okay?
No. The
Why
entire
not?
well, first off, the entire operation is fundamentally flawed. So I'm not even going to give you that there would be a acceptable percentage.
what? Oh, okay. So
The entire operation is
nothing they- so
the
nothing they
entire
do
operation
against
is
Hezbollah, okay.
like literally
So
conceived
nothing they
as
do-
terrorism.
Nothing. Okay, so
Like
you
literally,
want
yeah.
Hezbollah to win.
Yeah,
That's what you
if
want.
the World Trade
You
Center.
want Hezbollah to just fire at Israel with impunity.
How does that? It doesn't even
if
work. It
they kill
doesn't even
12
work because
kids
they
in the
didn't
Golan
stop
Heights,
them from shooting
12
at him.
Druze kids.
They're gonna
Okay,
fucking shoot
that's
at
what
him.
you want.
They're gonna shoot at him
Okay,
anyway.
yeah.
It doesn't fucking change
and
shit.
they'll have a much harder time of doing it now that their communications are fucked. And
For,
that
wait,
they've
wait,
lost,
for like 5 fucking
potentially,
days?
like,
Well,
1 or
5 fucking
2,000
days? Well, they
people.
invaded
Yeah,
once,
okay.
right? They're still going. Israel has never successfully stopped terrorism, ever.
So they should just
Never.
let. So they should just let. Well,
They need to
defeated,
stop
like, several-
doing anything that
What?
they
So
think
with
of. Literally,
Egypt,
yes.
They got Egypt
Literally,
to make
yes.
peace with them.
They
got
need to
Jordan
stop.
make peace
They
with
need to
them.
stop
They got the
engaging in
Saudis
any
to make peace
fucking
with them.
any
You
fucking
just made
ideas they
something up
have.
again. Wait, has Egypt never got a country to make peace with them through war? Egypt,
Who gives a fuck about Egypt?
Jordan.
Who gives
you
a fuck?
said that they've never been able to stop terror or like stop an enemy. Yeah, they did.
No,
with
I said
Egypt, they did
terror.
with
I
Jordan.
said terror, not an enemy. Again, changing the fucking goalpost. Stick with it, man. You
Terror.
can't use the
Oh,
typical.
so, okay.
You can't
Well,
use the
terror then,
typical
okay.
fucking Israeli goddamn talking points with
Yeah,
me.
let's use terror then. Let's use terror as an example. Where was Hezbollah firing more rockets at Israel before or after the 06 war?
Is Hezbollah still around?
Before.
No. Is Hezbollah still around? Did they just have to bomb? Did they just have to carry out a terror attack to try to slow Hezbollah down again? Didn't
Well, they
fucking work,
stopped-
did it,
they
Lonerbox?
stopped the
Didn't
rockets
really,
for a good
didn't
while.
really fucking stop the fucking terrorism, did it, Lonerbox? Did it stop it? Did
So
it stop
generally,
it?
if you're a
Did it
civilian in
achieve its
northern
military
Israel,
objective? No. You fucking
it did
idiot.
Stop the rockets. It did.
It
stopped the
didn't.
rockets
They're still
for
coming.
years.
They're back. They're back, and more are gonna happen. What, you gotta fucking
you're
quit?
not
You gotta
even
slow
able-
down?
you're not even-
What do
so
you?
you're not
How
even
many?
able
How
to
many fucking
slow them
kids do you
down.
have to kill for 5 years of no rockets? What is
You
that?
realize-
What's that
you realize
trade-off?
if they-
What's
well,
the trade-off? How
difference
many
is
fucking
that
civilians
kids
do you have
in
to
the
injure,
Golan
and kids do you have to kill for just like a decade and
the
a half
difference is that
of
kids
no
in the
rockets?
Golan
Like,
and
give me
Israel
like
don't
5
get rockets
days.
on them.
Give me like 5 years, no rockets.
Well, I guess the kids in northern Israel should just take the rockets then, right?
It doesn't stop it. The terrorism that they did in Lebanon doesn't stop it.
Oh, okay.
It
yeah,
doesn't
just
stop
tell
it.
the- yeah,
What
okay,
is the
well, you
oh
should just
okay?
tell those-
That
tell
wasn't
those
that
Jewish
was
kids,
not
oh, we're
that was
sorry.
not the
Tell the
flowchart
kids
answer
then,
you
oh,
had
yeah,
in your
so
head,
that-
loaner box. Don't
Sorry,
say
guys,
that.
Sorry.
That was not the
sorry, guys. I
flowchart.
guess the rockets, they can't slow that. Well, we can only slow them down, so there's no point. Just keep having rockets going over your heads. Fuck it, why not? Tell the Druze kids that in the playground. 12 of them, by the way.
Well, it didn't really
They're
stop it,
completely
did it?
indiscriminate
It didn't
attack.
really stop because they got fucking killed because Israel keeps doing Israel shit and the terrorism keeps continuing, and then Hezbollah fucking attacked them. So like they're the holdover. Remember your 06 war that didn't work? And it failed to stop the terrorism. That's why those kids
So
are
if you
dead.
can't-
That's
if
why
you
those
can't
kids are dead.
completely defeat a
In
military, you
15
just have to
years,
slow it
in
down.
15
Okay.
more years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever the fuck, those next set of kids that die because Israel's fucking incompetent at stopping, slowing down insurgencies, ending terrorism because they fucking continuously antagonize
Okay,
the
so
people
they-
around
yeah,
them
they got
and murder children
antagonizing.
and
Who did they
relentlessly
antagonize?
attack fucking
Okay.
relentlessly attack civilian
Again,
centers,
they
then more
pulled out of
Israeli kids are
Lebanon.
going to die, and then they're going to try, oh God, how are we going to stop this? How are we going to stop this
Why
now?
do you keep saying? Why do you keep saying they keep antagonizing? Israel left Lebanon and then Hezbollah fired at them. Why
They
do you
keep
keep on
they're
fucking up that
antagonizing
timeline?
like human life in
Israel
general in that area.
left. Oh, so they didn't actually antagonize Lebanon after 2000 when they left.
Who? I'm not. No one's making these points. I don't give a fuck. What is
You
this?
just said
What
it.
is it?
Stop.
No, shut the
Why do
fuck
you
up.
keep
What is
saying-
this?
Well, I'll
Oh,
just say
shit.
something- I'll just say something completely incorrect.
Hey, fucking
Describe
Loaderbot's got a
something, get the
Loaderbot's
history
got a
wrong.
dunk
Oh,
that
yeah,
justifies
sorry.
the
Oh,
terror
don't give a
attack.
fuck.
Let's
It's
get back
okay.
to it. Let's get back to it.
I love it.
How does
You
this
just get to be
justify the
wrong
indiscriminate
until you
terror
don't give a fuck.
attack?
You just get to say
How
you're
does
wrong
it?
and don't
How
give a
does it?
fuck.
How does it fucking? How does it justify the
You just keep
indiscriminate
saying-
terror
we
attack?
don't- we don't agree
It
that
doesn't
it's
change
indiscriminate.
anything. Never has. Israel's bad at doing
We
it.
don't agree that
We're
it's
still doing
indiscriminate.
terror attacks. Still happening. Doesn't
Oh, so
stop
as long
shit.
as long as the war is ongoing still, then what Israel? As long as they can't wipe out Hezbollah completely, Israel should just like do
Well,
nothing.
because if you remember, I
Okay,
sent you the
okay.
counterinsurgency manual. We should read it. It's fucking impossible to kill the entirety of a fucking insurgency. It's literally fucking impossible because it's an idea. It's an
I don't think
idea.
I don't think anyone said anything about destroying the entire.
You just
movement of
said it!
Hezbollah. I don't know why you're
You
saying
just said
that.
it.
You said that. You said that because they can't destroy the insurgency, they shouldn't do anything to it. They shouldn't attack any infrastructure. They shouldn't attack any.
I didn't say
militants,
that.
They shouldn't do anything.
Didn't say that. I said they shouldn't
What
do a
should they
mass
do
terror
then?
attack.
Okay,
I
what
said
kind of military
I called out
operations?
their
What
mass
kind of
terror
military
attack and their
operations?
consistent
What kind of
disregard
military
for human life
operations?
is what I called out. What the fuck are you talking about?
Military operations is Israel okay doing in Lebanon then?
Ones that don't indiscriminately target civilians.
Well,
There you go.
You just said what can they do? Hezbollah hides among civilians.
Well, then
Civilians
they
will
have to
always
fucking
get hurt in
change their
Israeli
tactics, don't
operations.
they? Because if they keep doing that and killing civilians, then Hezbollah's never going to go away, Loaderbox. It's basic counterinsurgency, dipshit. Yeah.
So what do they? What,
Holy
like,
shit! What if? Let
technology do
me
they
blow your
have?
mind. What if Hezbollah is baiting
What
them to do it?
technology-
What if
what
Hezbollah wants
technology-
them to kill civilians to swell their ranks? Holy shit! What if they're
technology-
actually playing into the
Hezbollah
fucking
has no
trap?
problem swelling their ranks. Hezbollah is the biggest.
Yeah, because
non-state military in
fucking
the world.
Israel
What are you
keeps
talking
fucking
about?
killing Muslims in their immediate area.
No, it's because they're supported by Iran. That's why they are big.
Yeah, what does
Can I
Iran
ask him
what
a
does Iran
question,
not like in that
Laura?
area? What do you
It's
think
up to-
Iran
it's
what do you
up
think
to him, I
Iran
don't
doesn't
mind.
like in that
Yeah,
area?
can I ask you a question, Westside Tyler?
Sure. What's up, man?
Do you support what Israel doing in Gaza to get rid of Hamas completely? Because that is a way to get rid of terror attacks from Hamas completely. It is to completely eliminate Hamas. So if
How are you going to do it?
don't
How are you going to
sup-
kill them all? How?
by eliminating the
How?
command structure,
Literally tell me how. How do you find every single
Killing
one of
their
them and put a
leaders?
bullet in them?
killing their leaders? What are like
The
single
leaders, if you kill a
terrorists
leader,
are
you know
gonna
another guy
do?
can get promoted, right? You know how that works?
Okay, they can get promoted, but they're gonna still eventually get to the point where that organization is non-functional anymore.
When? When does that
When
happen?
they get all the command structure. For
When
example,
does that
Ismail
happen?
Haniyeh. Who did they replace Ismail Haniyeh with?
I don't give a shit. I don't know. I don't even know who the fuck that
Sure.
is. Tell
They
me
replaced
how.
it
No,
with
no,
a
it
guy
doesn't.
who's
This,
already a leader.
this horse shit doesn't fucking matter. We're talking
okay,
military
Seth, don't worry.
tactics. You're onto some
The
gibberish.
room's too big. The
Literally,
room's too big. Okay,
literally,
Seth
how
doesn't
do
know
you
what he's talking
find?
about.
Literally,
Yeah.
how do you find all of the people and kill them? How do you find them all and kill them? That's the answer. If there's 700
think-
people that are in Hamas, how do you find all 700 of them and kill them so they can't recruit anyone else again? How do you do that?
When you say that it's an idea.
Not you, fucko. The other one.
Oh no, I'm just leaving the room small. Okay, like you're too shouty to have more than 2 people in this room. You keep saying it's an idea. The thing with Hezbollah is that they're not just an insurgency. You understand that, right?
I don't care about that. What does this have to do
They're
with
not.
anything?
They're not just an insurgency. They are a de facto military. They govern parts of Lebanon.
And
So the point for Israel is not that they need to. No one's saying that they need to wipe out Hezbollah completely. That's not what the argument is. I don't know why you're saying that.
that was the other guy who was talking about eliminating Hamas completely. That was a completely different question. Why are we on this one now? Why did we go this direction? We're talking about Hamas.
You shouldn't do anything. But well, wipe them out completely. That seems to be what Israel's trying to do in Gaza. That's the argument he's.
Yeah, and it's
It's
impossible.
okay. You're talking to
It's
me. though.
impossible to
okay.
do.
Okay.
It's
I probably
impossible.
agree with that. It's impossible to kill the idea. That's why we should never have gone into Germany. Okay, that's. Apparently.
We didn't kill the
Because
idea.
Nazism's still an
We
idea.
didn't kill the idea. But also
Yeah, no one's
Germany,
trying to kill the
Germany,
idea.
Germany was an
No one's
actual
trying to kill
fucking
the idea.
Germany, first off, was an actual fucking country, and second, we didn't indiscriminately kill all the fucking civilians once we invaded. We didn't just randomly bomb all their fucking towns. We got a
firebombed
few
entire
firebombs. We did a
cities.
few firebombs.
we killed like 25,000 people in one day in Dresden. What are you
But
talking
either
about?
ultimately,
Yes,
the
we
fucking
did.
terms
Did
for
you not
surrender.
know that?
Ultimately, the terms for surrender were fucking achievable. That's the point. They're never going to be
Oh.
achievable in this other situation.
So maybe they should fire.
And also, people fucking perfected. They perfected fucking insurgency in the interim because basically they're all of fucking
Okay, well, it's a good
communism
thing.
fucking perfected the insurgency techniques through Che Guevara and all the people in Southeast Asia, and then coming right across into Afghanistan. The counterinsurgency and the insurgency game is completely fucking different than 1945. in the fucking first place. But also, those were even still wartime acts, and also even still not particularly fucking effective. The firebombing in Dresden was not highly effective at stopping the German war machine in a general sense. It was ultimately a waste of munitions and fucking flight hours. So, like, still a bad example. And also, the reason that they did fucking surrender is because we treated them with respect and dignity. And also, there wasn't a massive cultural divide between two completely disparate religions. It also wasn't the fucking Holy Land. And it also was completely contextually different in almost every single way than Israel-Palestine.
Yeah, and it's
or
a good
Israel,
thing that
Lebanon.
Israel isn't. It's a good thing that the goal, and I've never said that, is to eliminate the idea of Hezbollah. There's a Shia population there. They're part of the civilian population. The goal is to disarm them as much as possible, or to reduce the attacks on their own civilians, to protect their civilians.
Yeah, this is a completely different fucking argument anyway. So, like, literally, I don't care about any of that.
And
I don't know where I'm getting into the fucking weeds again.
you're
Like,
saying that
literally, the
even if
fucking
they
conversation is about
reduce
why
it-
you keep justifying the mass terror attack. Does that
And
get
you're
back to
saying that
this?
even if
Can you
and you're
get
saying that even if
back
they
to how this
reduce
justifies
them-
the mass terror attack? I keep fucking letting you guys lead me astray.
I don't think it's a
to
mass terror
completely fucking unrelated. It is. It's just definitionally a mass terror attack. So why do we?
How easy? I don't know why you're making it like you keep saying the mass terror attack. I don't think it was a mass terror attack.
There's
I
a
think that
massive
given
amount
that-
of people attacked. It was
given how
terroristic in
Hezbollah-
intent.
Given
and,
how Hezbollah
and against
fights,
the laws
there
of
seems to be given how Hezbollah fights. Like, would you think?
He left. That's a cutout. Sorry. I gotta fucking cut this soon anyway. I'm about to be done.
You should learn a few more things about.
I
the
didn't hear
past between
like the
Israel and
last
Hezbollah.
30 seconds. You cut out.
Okay.
Bling.
Are you seriously committing to the idea that just because Israel's military operations in Lebanon reduce rocket fire, that's not good enough and they shouldn't do it if it kills Lebanese civilians?
Yeah, literally, because it's just gonna
Okay,
it's
so
just gonna
that's-
create
so
more
some lives
Hezbollah
matter more
people
than
in the
others, I
future.
guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
It's bad counterinsurgency.
Okay.
That's
It's
pretty
not
much
an
it.
insurgency, but
Why,
okay.
if they're afraid of the rocket attacks, why not fucking attack the Rocketeers? Why can't you?
Again, backing-
Why not do that? If you don't like
You realize
rocket
it takes an
attacks, attack the
entire-
rocket teams.
It takes an entire net because you don't know how Hezbollah operates.
Tell
Again,
me what about Hezbollah operating that's somehow different than every fucking insurgency group in the history of mankind? What do they do? What do they do that's different than Al Qaeda or
because
the
Hezbollah
Talibs?
are not. Hezbollah are also a de facto government of several parts of Lebanon. They are very, very heavily armed and well supplied by Iran.
Yeah, that
They
they're
have the
stage up.
capacity-
That's
I
just
haven't
a,
finished
that's
talking,
just a
please,
stage
I haven't
up.
finished talking. They've got very good technology and the ability to basically emerge out of like civilian areas, even houses in some cases, to bring a rocket up from under the ground from like reinforced bunkers and tunnel systems, fire their munitions, and then go back underneath. And their communications were one of the ways that Israel was able to do this. Without their communications, they cannot conduct strikes in the way that they could as effectively. That's why Hezbollah communications are far more sophisticated than the likes of Hamas or even the Taliban. It seems.
The pagers were highly sophisticated communication systems. You don't think they can work past that?
Their way of
Also, like, how does it stop the rockets from firing? This doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, okay, they can't talk to each other.
Because their communication infrastructure.
Do you know how a
way
fucking
that
rocket
they're
team
able to
works?
coordinate these attacks?
Why, who gives a fuck about? Could they just start shooting them? I'd fucking tell everyone. All right, well, fucking like, if you have a schedule, you can work around all of these things. It's not gonna fucking stop the rocket strikes. It's probably gonna piss them off more, and they're gonna do more. Like, they can't talk to each other. The rockets are still there. The rocket teams are still there. The rocket technique is still in place. You haven't stopped any of that. And now you have dead civilians that are going to swell the ranks of Hezbollah. Like, it accomplished fucking nothing. Like, still, yet again, you have not justified the terror attack, the mass terror attack by Israel, and we're talking about other bullshit. It's not going to fucking accomplish shit.
They've also lost combatants. These are people who would otherwise be able to fire rockets.
Yeah, like what? 37 are dead, and who knows how many wounded?
Okay?
Because they're
who knows
mixed
how
in.
many wounded? Okay, yes, these are people who could otherwise fire rockets. Yes.
Yeah. So how many people? Like what are even the fucking is
And
the
they are
unit strength?
targeting rocket
If it's
infrastructure
if
as
it's one of the
well.
most complicated fucking attacks, right? Well, you took out 37 guys. The rocket teams are done now. They can't get pagers from somebody else.
No, they're doing.
It sounds like
airstrikes
it's
for
about
that.
to be
But
fucking
you
right
oppose that
back
as
up.
well because civilians die in the airstrikes too. But yeah, they're airstriking the rocket teams as well. That's what they're doing right now. They're airstriking infrastructure. The communications is part of it because obviously when your communications are fucked, it's harder for yourself to deal with like future attacks against the rocket people. Yes.
There's like a million different ways to attack communications anyway. So how does that still justify fucking doing a mass terror attack? Like why is that the way that you did it? You gave
keep
them
on
the
saying it's a
communications
mass
devices.
terror
And
attack. Okay.
it is. I mean, it literally just is a mass terror attack. Like, how does it justify that? It doesn't seem like it's actually going to fucking long term achieve that goal. And you're going to have more Hezbollah fighters, which you haven't really answered for. Like, you slow down rocket attacks for a second. You know what a Pyrrhic victory is? Like, where you think like you got to win, but it actually completely defeats the purpose of your entire objective.
I think it seems to be like the issue is that you seem to think that Hezbollah actions against Israel are only a response to Israeli actions against Lebanon. Do you think Hezbollah?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm not talking about any of that shit. I said, what the fuck justifies? I don't know. I literally will never understand what justifies a mass terror attack against a civilian population.
The Hezbollah's attacks against Israel are not just because Lebanese people get attacked by Israel. When Israel left, Hezbollah's attacks on Israel went up, not down. As in, when the effect of Israeli soldiers and when Israeli soldiers against Lebanese people reduced by them leaving the country, the attacks from Hezbollah increased because they had more room to conduct them, because Hezbollah's goal is to destroy Israel.
Yeah, how does that justify a mass terror attack in a civilian center? Like, literally just again and again and again.
I don't think it was a mass terror attack.
It was. Well, I know you don't think it was because you have to not. You have to not accept that.
That we have, based on the data that we currently have, this I told you my opinion. This could change, by the way. But based on the data we currently have, it seems to be like there was a fair level of discernment in this, in that.
It doesn't really.
When you look at the death ratio, it seems pretty close. It seems like
the death ratio is not the injury ratio. You're just ignoring information again. You really just want to fucking not believe it is what it is. It's also a violation. It's still just a violation of the fucking conventions. I'm pretty sure that's the Geneva Conventions. It says that at the top of the fucking page, by the way. I don't know why.
It's still contested, by the way. Yeah, that's still contested because
I don't know. What, contested by who? Contested by people that are pro-genocide. You know what I mean? Contested by people that are on the side of the people that can't fucking stop terrorism.
These legal people disagree with me. They must be pro-genocide. That's a really convenient tactic.
I mean, yeah, I'm anti-genocide, so the people that fucking disagree with me are pro-genocide.
You think Israel shouldn't do anything against Hezbollah because Hezbollah
I didn't say that they shouldn't do anything, did I? Though I didn't say they shouldn't do. No, I said they shouldn't do the fucking mass terror attack. Said they shouldn't do the mass terror attack. Said they shouldn't kill civilians. Keep saying that. Keep saying that, and then they should halt operations if they can't fucking continuously or stop continuously killing civilians. I've just said that a bunch of times. I keep going back to it.
You've walked back your previous answer then. You've walked back your previous answer.
I didn't walk back any previous answers. I just keep saying the same fucking thing again and again and again. Are you going to rephrase another question so that it's different?
Because I asked you if they knew the ratio would be 9-1. Was it okay to do it then?
It's a fucking hypothetical based on nothing. And also 9-1 is still bad. No, because what's 9-1?
It was a
9-1 ratio where 2,000 fucking 400 people could be injured. Would be if it was all the way up to fatalities, would still be like hundreds of people.
It's a
hundreds of people. It's
a hypothetical.
It's a bad hypothetical because even the hypothetical, I'd say no. That's bad. What the fuck do you mean? 90%?
Ukraine conducted. You said it was okay for Ukraine to conduct.
Why did I say it was okay for Ukraine to do it? Why did I say it? Because they were watching where it happened. It was discriminate.
Yeah, because they knew.
Do you remember now? Remember we're going between discriminate and indiscriminate?
Because they knew.
It's the difference between
they knew.
Yeah.
Because they knew, which is why I'm asking you with Hezbollah, if they knew.
But they didn't. They didn't. You're saying if.
Hypothetical.
You're going to fuck the hypothetical. You're like, in my imaginary world where I'm right, wouldn't I be right? Is like not as clever as you think it is.
Because you don't want to bite the bullet. Hypothetically.
There is no bullet to bite. The bullet to bite is in your imaginary world where it's a hypothetical that doesn't change the inherent issue that I have with the operation, which is that it violates the convention against the use of booby traps, and it's a mass terror attack on a civilian center. There is no ratio that justifies a mass terror attack unless it's 100%. 100%.
Okay, that's not written anywhere, but the additional protocol clearly makes
not written anywhere. You're literally asking my fucking. That's me answering your hypothetical would be only 100%.
Only 100%.
When you're using this specific, dumb fuck, you're doing it again. You're trying to be a rat. Only when this specific tactic is used, it would have to be 100%, which is still just luck because you're using luck to get all of these bombs to where they're supposed to be, as opposed to a guided munition where you've actually weighed the casualty assessment and you know who's gonna fucking die. You know those 2 civilians are gonna die, and you're gonna fucking kill them anyway because you've weighed it out. As opposed to Israel, which is gonna send fucking bombs, and then I gotta have to give, hey, this is a loaner box hypothetical. What if the number of civilians killed was lower? Would you be okay? Behind door number 3, even less civilians. Come on, can we come on down? How many fucking war crimes can we get on Israel today? That's like what this whole thing feels like again and again and again. I think we're going to have to wrap it up, by the way, because we just said the same thing like 15 times, and I got to go eat dinner and say goodbye to my people.
Okay. Well, hopefully you learned something or anything about this conflict or with the people who were involved. And
Don't
fucking
fucking
yeah, hopefully
don't
you'll be a
jerk
bit less
yourself off,
retarded
bro.
next time you talk about this.
Don't jerk yourself off. Come on.
Bye-bye.
Get out of here, kid.
Okay, cool.
Boy. Have they even named any Hezbollah militants that were terminating the attack? No. We're talking about literal terror attacks. Literal, keep the hypotheticals out of your mouth. Children dead. I don't understand the point of an imaginary alternative situation. The hypotheticals are for before you engage in a terror attack. That's kind of the point. Is you do that's part of planning. So you weigh it out. So honestly, like if you weighed it out and you thought you would get 9 out of 10, but then you realize it's actually even fucking worse. He said a slur. I didn't hear it. Loner straight up embarrassing. That was pretty rough. That was pretty bad. I gotta say, I don't give a fuck about the conflict. I've said that. How many times have I said I don't give a fuck? There's literally, it doesn't matter what the conflict is. Nothing justifies a mass terror attack on a civilian center. Indiscriminate bombing in a civilian area, even if it kills mostly bad guys, nothing justifies that. Especially because it's indiscriminate, and also because the things that are being used are in violation of the provision. I swear to God, that's fucking the Geneva Conventions. Hold on, I gotta fucking read this again. I keep losing track of it because I got too many fucking windows open and I was having a conversation. Yeah, let me see. So, doesn't this say Geneva at the top, or is that the other one I was reading? Or is this a UN convention? It's a convention. Protocol on Prohibitions or Restrictions on the Use of Mines, Booby Traps, or Other Devices is amended on 3rd May 1996. Protocol 2 is amended by 3 May 1996. Annexed to the Convention on Prohibitions or Restrictions on the Use of Certain Conventional Weapons, which may be deemed to be excessively injurious or to have indiscriminate effects. Geneva. 3 May 1996. Am I fucking crazy? Would you just happen to also be in Geneva? I'm sorry. The title has Geneva and convention in it. I guess I was wrong about that. My bad. I can put this on the screen real quick. Right? Am I fucking nuts? I guess if I made that assumption that Geneva, this convention that happened in Geneva, I feel like if that was a mistake, it's really justified, but I don't want to think it's a mistake. Lonerbox was just really confident about it. So, would this convention that happened in Geneva on the 3rd of May 1996 possibly be a Geneva convention, or am I fucking crazy? Can I get chat? Can I get a crazy guy emoji in chat if I'm would this convention that happened in Geneva be a Geneva convention? Or have I lost my mind? I really appreciate there's other guys that agree with me. I can send that to you if you want. Okay. At some point in a hypothetical, would I be correct? At some point in the future, you can read evidence that will convince you that I'm correct. I'm going to present it now. There's multiple. I know there's a series. The Geneva Conventions go all the way back to like the mid 1800s. I think the first one was like crazy far back. It's like surprising. I think it was the Geneva Convention of 18. There's a quick one. I think it was 1835, then 1848. I'm probably completely off on those. The original Geneva Conventions were against stuff like war balloons and gas, and people didn't sign them. But the thing is also like even not signing it and it being like legally whatever the fuck. Most of the time when there's some sort of precedent that justifies something in the Geneva Conventions, it's trying to cheat your way around rules that benefit everybody. There's no fucking strategic value in this. It's ultimately going to be bad. I just went back to that a bunch of times. You know what I mean? That's it. The debate is completely lost because you misnamed a dang piece of paper. I don't think I misnamed it. What the fuck? What? Where the fuck else could this convention in Geneva happen? United Nations Treaty Collection. Geneva, the Geneva Convention of 1996. Am I out of my mind? Do they just not call it that? These are all these signatories to what may or may not be a Geneva Convention. They don't call it the Geneva Conventions, by the way. There's more than one. There's several. Yeah, there's been almost 200 years worth of Geneva Conventions going over all sorts of stuff. Frangible bullets, the treatment of soldiers in wartime, which is, by the way, if you look for Geneva Conventions, sometimes the new ones only add the updated new stuff. Like if you look at the specific convention, it's an addition to the ones that come before. So they're like the former conventions are standing with signatories to this, and then blah, blah, blah. So like if you go real far back, or you have to go real far back for stuff like soldiers are to be afforded like, you know, care and comfort and stuff, and you should give like medical care to wounded soldiers, and you let people get their mail with due censorship. First one was in 1864. Oh, was it way after? I think what I'm remembering is the first one happened in 1864, but like what I'm talking about, like there was a little the one there was one immediately before it that got canceled. That's why, because of fucking the Civil War. That's why the Civil War is getting ready to break out. And so it got canceled, and America didn't go to the first one. And then the second one was getting ready to pop off in the early 1900s, and then World War I happened. And then the next one happened immediately after World War II, and then the fucking last one happened right around, obviously 96, so after the first Gulf War. Red Crescent is a Geneva Convention. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. They actually are legitimately like difficult to 100% nail down. I started reading through these a little while ago just to double check and like get up on my everything that's like intuitive that you would think was probably an issue is usually an issue. How about on the other side of things, people are like, wow, Tyler, you're fucking all for war crimes. And then on my side of things, we're just like, why are you fucking cool with dead kids? It's kind of crazy, man. A little wild. A little spicy. Fucking weird guy. Letterboxd's a weird guy. Spooky Nerdy Skeleton Super Chat, $10. Thanks, man. This whole thing kind of pissed me the fuck off because I like Loaderbox at some point. Wait, this is kind of the issue that I've noticed with a bunch of these fucking Israeli supporter guys is they have like a flowchart that they go through in their fucking head. Like it's like a literal flowchart. That's why he kept trying to go back to those random, like completely unrelated points, and we had to get a little bit more and more fucking hostile because he wanted to go talk about other completely unrelated shit. He's like, well, you're trying to say that it's fucking not effective. Like, well, it's not effective because all counterinsurgency manuals say that it's fucking not effective. And all of the evidence that the enemy's still around suggests that it's not fucking effective. And that's pretty much the fucking case. If you want to get down to the fucking nitty gritty, you'd have to have like a completely on the ground understanding of exactly why Hezbollah did every single last thing that they did. But just it's a general rule of thumb that if you kill somebody, everyone that knows them and likes them is going to fucking hate you. And if you seriously injure 2,400 some odd fucking people in various ways, minor, major, and otherwise, they're going to be pissed at you. Very upset. Very, very upset. Yeah. What Destiny Dick does to a fucker? No, don't say that. Tyler, it's super cool that Israel has now made every single person on the planet second guess the safety of their electronic devices. Yeah, it's also probably going to cause some fucking knock-on supply line conflicts. The company in Japan is fucked. I hope it's completely shut down and they bought surplus from them. But most of the pagers, at least, I don't know about the walkie-talkies, but the pagers were all bought from some company in Japan and probably fucking reloaded after the fact. And if that company's still around, god damn, they're going to look fucking bad right now. They're going to be like, dude, we did not... Because that's arms supplying, by the way. They're going to have to prove probably to Japan. I don't know what Japan's fucking rules are on it are, but they're going to have to prove that they didn't sell munitions. Because when you sell a communication device, right, but then you turn the communication device into a bomb, if you know it's going to get turned into a bomb, you're no longer selling communication devices. You're selling a fucking bomb housing with a trigger. That's it. Oh my God. Lunarbox didn't know that Geneva Conventions were ratified again in 1949 because of the atrocities of World War II. That's why he's trying to use Dresden in his argument. Does he not know that? It's hard to keep track of them all. But like, it's a crazy fucking argument anyway, because none of the stuff that I'm talking about happened in Germany. You know, like, we didn't beat Germany by, as far as I know, flooding the Nazi high command with a bunch of explosive radios. And also, that would, oh man, if they just blew up immediately, I don't know. If you had the cart, I don't think so. That just sounds like perfidy. You know what I mean? That just sounds like perfidy, because it's just too much. You know what I mean? Because like, the thing is if you like sell them the radios, like, okay, I can get it because you're fucking attacking Nazis. Yeah. But then like all the radios that don't explode are still there, and you can't fucking account for that. Like, he didn't want to answer any of those. He didn't want to account for the unexploded ordnance. He didn't want to account for how they even fucking knew anybody was injured. It's like, oh yeah, we gotta wait for the people on the ground to tell us how many of them got fucking injured by our undirected attack. Okay, so it's an undirected attack then. No, it was very directed. It was very directed. How did they direct it? Well, they knew that they would give them to some Hezbollah people. Well, okay. How did they know the Hezbollah people were going to get blown up by it? Well, because they handed it to them. Okay, but how much time passes between you handing it to him and then it going off? Like a while? Like a day? Like 2 days? Like an hour? 4 minutes? Or, oh, fuck, I don't know. I don't even know right now. Was it a week? 2 weeks? Like, why are you making stuff up? I'm like, I'm guessing, because I don't fucking know, because they didn't direct the attack. So, like, literally anything is possible. When you don't eliminate possibilities, other things remain possible. That's kind of the point of deductive reasoning. You can't deduct anything. Anything that I said is possible because you didn't fucking aim. You know? It's like, hey, man, if you fucking fire a gun up into the air with your head this way, where does the bullet go? It's like, I don't know, that way. Who's it going to hit? I don't know. We're going to ask wherever the fucking bullet might land. I'm gonna go check in that general direction, I guess, in a couple weeks and see if there's anyone dead there. So you think fucking Israel can't defend itself? I never said that they can't fucking defend itself. I said they're incapable of defending themselves effectively. They should halt all military operations and reduce their fucking externalities to complete total defense and pull out of the fucking Gaza Strip, because they're fucking up everything. All of their fucking maneuvers have been fuck-ups. They have fucked up and done more accidental war crimes and unforced errors in a year than I saw in the entirety of the fucking Iraq war. I swear to God. Haditha, the Milai of Iraq, is a weekly IDF fucking get-together. The IDF has freaked out and murdered so many people that were unarmed that it's not even, they don't even count it. Remember like the Milai of Iraq, Haditha, I talked about it like 2 weeks ago, where they got blown up. They legitimately got blown up at least. And then they started killing everybody that was around them because they freaked out and they were fucking incompetent. And then those Marines murdered some guys. They murdered some kids. It's bad. It's very bad. Probably should have done some more jail time for that, because that's fucking psycho that you got away with it at all. It's kind of crazy to me. The fucking Israelis just shot a bunch of people to death over flour. Remember that? You remember, like, that just happened and we just, boop, gone. The fucking people like, oh, what did you do? Oh, we drove a bunch of flour in front of starving people. Well, did they rush for the flour? Yeah. What did you do? We ran over them and shot them in the street. Did you tell the truth about it? Fuck no. Fuck no, we didn't tell anyone the truth about it, bro. We shot those people and fucking rolled, dude. We rolled away. We rolled on them, man. We fucking shot those motherfuckers to death. It's like crazy. Should Israel stop defending itself? I mean, at this point, almost, yeah, because I don't know what the fuck. Like, y'all fucking got one setting. Incompetent genocide. Fucking what? Your genius tactic for Hezbollah was a mass terror attack. It was a fucking Joker. A literal fucking Batman villain plot. The incompetence is psychotic. Well, a lot of fucking Israelis are gonna fucking start dying, like, no matter what. It's just gonna fucking happen. Like, you guys, what do you think the fucking terrorism is gonna end? Buy yourself a few more years of not kicking. It's called kicking the can down the road. I should have just said that. They're just kicking the can down the road on additional terror attacks that are never going to end. They're never going to end. Hezbollah might cease to exist. It's going to be a fucking new Hezbollah with blackjack and hookers. Hezbollah 2, Electric Boogaloo, full of all the kids that fucking knew their friends got their fucking hands blown off during this shit. Some of them might just be even like, I don't know, my dad was a fucking terrorist and you fucking killed him, so I fucking hate you anyway. Because you're never going to get to a point where the kid gets raised by a dad that says, like, I don't know, maybe it's time to put our guns down. He's just creating the next generation of terrorists again and again and again, and then trying to talk about, well, I don't know if you understand this, but in 2005, did I predict that too before we got into the thing? I don't give a fuck. I don't care about history. I don't give a shit. What does it change? It doesn't do, they're fucking terrible. They're terrible at fighting. I'm just going to the same fucking talking point again. The fucking IDF is dog shit. The Israeli Defense Initiative is insane. It's run by psychopaths and incompetent fucking morons. Like, they're idiots. Like, legitimate fucking morons. That one guy got fucking stumped. Well, yeah, we're going to fucking eliminate Hamas from Gaza by killing all of the Hamas agents in Gaza. How do you know that's going to work? How do you find them all and how do you kill them all? That's all you have to answer. How do you locate every Hamas guy and how do you kill them all? I don't fucking know. I've never even thought about that shit. I know, right? It's almost like you didn't fucking plan. It's almost like the plan is so fucking bad that a single question can derail it, and we have to get off into ancient history and fucking morals and shit to try to figure out, I don't know, what are you saying? I can't do something? Because I don't know if you understand this, but 6 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 months ago, 4 weeks ago, this happened, and now I feel justified to do anything that comes to mind. What about the Druze kids? What the fuck about them? They're dead. Because you already fucking couldn't stop Hezbollah. You already couldn't do it. Hezbollah still hates you, so they're still shooting rockets at you. And fucking Lebanon's destabilized. Because you fucking attacked Lebanon. Lebanon sucks now. Lebanon's all fucked up. What did you do to fix Lebanon and make it so people don't like terrorists there? Or the Hezbollah doesn't have a ground hold? We sent a bunch of fucking bombs. We flooded the fucking country with explosive pagers. What the fuck is this gonna change anything? What would you do? I would fucking calm the fuck down if I was fucking up that much, take a step back, and think about something the fuck else to do. It's an entire country of people. There's an entire counterinsurgency manual. Yeah, I can't answer to the specific politics on the fucking ground, but I'll just tell you what, COINTEL, for a fucking ground guy, anybody, the ground game is, don't kill kids. What have you justified if there's that? Yeah, if you stop fucking relentlessly killing children and injuring civilians all the fucking time, they'll be a little less pissed at you. It's hard to justify Hezbollah shooting fucking rockets out of your goddamn neighborhood when you don't know 10 people who lost fingers, toes, eyes, and ears, and their fucking hearing and their eyesight because somebody fucking blew up a pager out of nowhere in a fucking market. Or in a school. We don't know. He's like, you don't know where they got blown up. Nobody does, because they didn't track it, because it was an undirected, it was an indiscriminate terror attack. Nobody knows where it happened. Nobody knows. We got 2 videos. Why do you got 2 videos? Why don't you have a bunch? You know how you happened? The bridge got attacked in Ukraine? I guarantee you there's big white. One of those. You know, remember all those drone attacks that we're bad for doing? We're bad for doing. Remember what you could see? The video footage of the drone attack. Even Haditha, the My Lai of Iraq, you know what you have from there? Photos taken by the Marines from the same unit. They got quashed by a piece of shit who tried to cover it up. But the fucking Marines that were a part of that same unit from their intel shop, I think, took photos. It was still an indiscriminate killing of civilians, but they still recorded it and told you what happened. They fucking reported it. The command crushed it. Yeah, because it was a war crime, we did have to find out. Everyone found out because an Iraqi on the ground had to report it. That's what happens when a war crime happens. The fucking victims have to report it because the fucking people that perpetrated it don't know what the fuck happened, or they're covering it up, or they're lying about it, or they didn't even care that it fucking happened. Are you anti-war? Kind of. As a guy that fought one. Man, are you anti-war? Like, sorta, kinda, bro. Sometimes it has to happen. You gotta go fuck somebody up. But you have to have a plan. Fucking you're talking to American. Like, are you fucking anti? Do you think this is a good idea? No. you shouldn't get ass mad and then go invade a country. We did it twice in a fucking row, and it was the worst mistake the country's made in the new millennium, and we are a country that fucks up. One of the most fucking up countries, period. What was our first big fuck up of the millennium other than Enron? Going into a 2-state war because we're ass mad that fucking tower got knocked down. Should America not have defended itself? Kinda, maybe not. You ever thought of that? We eventually killed the guy that did it in Pakistan. We didn't invade Pakistan. We invaded Afghanistan and Iraq. He was there the whole time. It's a bad plan. We can just tell you. It just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't fucking work. You know what happened? On my second deployment, they said you have to take the fucking rounds out of your rifle. Out. In Ramadi, Iraq. Why? Because they didn't want anyone accidentally shooting somebody and restarting the conflict once it chilled out. Take the rounds out of your rifle. Were we happy about it? No. Did it work? Actually, yeah. It actually fucking worked. It worked really well. It worked really fucking well. I lived. I left. Didn't see anyone fucking die except for 2 Marines during that entire fucking deployment. No kids. No Iraqis. Well, 1, maybe. I don't know. Whoever was fucking driving the VBID that killed the 2 Marines. That entire deployment. Chill as shit. It's crazy. You're like, give peace a chance. Like, kinda. Kinda? Like, it's okay. It's okay to not want to fucking, like, constantly engage in bloody warfare. That shit was cringe, man. I'm really disappointed in that loner box guy. I'm really fucking disappointed in him. That fucking sucks. Gross. You're yelling at him. Weren't paying attention to him. He's trying to talk about other shit. I don't give a fuck. How many kids? How many kids is justified? Like, tell me how many fucking kids. Because the answer's none. Just say it's not justified. That's the crazy part. Remember, see how many times I've done it? How many kids were justified in dying in the American invasion of Iraq? None. It was a massive mistake. It was horrible. It was the most disgusting thing that fucking happened was the unmitigated loss of human life. It should have never happened. We should have never done all of what we did the way that we did it in a general sense. It was really fucking bad. We still did it, and once you've done it, you got to make the fuck up for it. All right? But the one thing you can't go around saying you didn't fucking do it, first off, you can't just go around saying, I don't know, trying to fucking like maybe wish-wash. What the fuck is that? What in the fuck is that? I'm a fucking United States Marine, former U.S. Marine infantryman. I'm over here talking about the fucking My Lai of Iraq. I can't get this dipshit to admit it was a fucking terror attack. It was. If we did it, it would be too. There's a reason it's against fucking this Geneva Convention I seem to have found. God damn. I would love to ask Lonerbach how Hezbollah's rocket attacks are indiscriminate, but the fucking... Yeah, I know. And the thing is that the equivocation is not a justification. That's the other crazy fucking thing. Like, you can't... If a serial killer cuts somebody into pieces and tortures them for, like, days and does all the most profane things a person can do to that guy, you are not justified in doing that all to the fucking serial killer. You're not. You're not. Maybe at most you can fucking put him in a box, possibly if you're in of the decision to like fucking death penalty people. It's not usually my go-to because I don't think it's very effective. Then you can death penalty the guy, but it's a clean, quick execution because you have to be better than your enemies. Otherwise, there's no reason to root for you. That's the thing. I don't find Israel to be a particularly good ally, and if they're going to act like terrorists and genociders and murderers, then why am I on the fucking hook for trying to be supportive of just other terrorists? You know what I mean? Like, well, if they get to do it, then why can't I do it? Because I don't want to be friends with terrorists. They're bad. We can work to get that shit shut down. But I refuse to ally with terrorists. I don't want to ally with terrorists. I don't want to be allied with a terror state. I don't want to be a terror state. I don't want to make fucking excuses for a terror state. I know we're fucking harping on this, but like, holy shit, what in the fuck is wrong with him? Like, legitimately bad person. Like that's an amoral argument. Like a beyond amoral. It's not even functional. Like, he's arguing against effective warfare by trying to use like some fucking hooty-hoo bullshit. Fucking what in the past this fucking blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, you fucking guys keep killing civilians. Also, how does that even justify killing the civilians? How does it justify it? What did it actually achieve? Will you slow down rocket attacks? Can you prove that? You're just assuming it's going to slow down the rocket attacks? Is it going to slow down enough rocket attacks to justify the new amount of terrorists? Like, where's the plan? Because an actual operation has an operation plan. You ever seen America do that? We do something, boom, blah. We do something the next day. Like, so what we just did was execute Operation fucking shoot Osama bin Laden in the face. They described the entire thing and what happened. Remember that? Remember how that kind of fucking popped off? Some stuff is secret. That's not secret. You can't keep it secret. It's in the middle of the fucking marketplace, obviously. So why isn't Israel coming out telling me literally everything that happened and all their expectations? Why aren't they giving me hard numbers? Because they probably don't even fucking know what happened. They told you everything they know, so they have no idea who got bombed. They have no idea who got hit. They don't know if it's civilians. They don't know if it's... You might unite all of fucking Lebanon against Israel, and then now there's going to be more. They'll just rebuild the communication network and bomb you even fucking harder. Why wouldn't they? Like, that just seems like a natural reaction to you indiscriminately bombed civilian centers. We're just going to fucking step shit up. So you accomplished nothing. You just killed some civilians. It's really the issue. Like, you have to prove to me that you accomplished it. I know you killed the civilians. The civilians are dead. I know that all the people are injured. They're walking around bloody and shit. They're all fucking talking about it. They didn't die, so they're like posting on Facebook and shit like, yo, homie, I got fucking blown up by an Israeli pager. You know what I mean? What the fuck? So, like, I can check that. We know the civilians got hit. We don't know how many fucking pagers blew up. We don't know how many of them went off because they didn't keep track. And if they did keep track, they didn't tell us. If they're not telling us, then there's X amount of pagers out there that are potentially still explosive, unaccounted for, that the fucking the fucking Hezbollah guys aren't going to use. What's going to happen with those fucking pagers? Are they just going to use them as bombs now? Do they have bombs? Did you put pagers in the hands of terrorists? Bomb pagers? They can go leave those out in fucking Paris and shit. Hey, you guys know that we got like fucking 400 of those unexploded pagers? Because, like, not everybody was holding one. And, like, 37 out of 40 guys, 37 guys died. Maybe, like, 3 kids. 2 kids. A kid. We don't know. Don't know, because nobody was really paying attention that set up the device off. I keep going in circles. This shit's insane. The original Geneva Conventions are so old that they're signed with wax seals. Yeah, they're fucking based. Alerts are paused. I'm so sorry. Nick D super chatted, best $10 I ever spent. Oh, fuck. I forgot you paid for me to do that. God damn it. I wanted to wait. Oh, this is the last one of the day. I gotta fucking I have to do the fucking Sean O'Brien thing. I'm gonna go ask my wife for some fucking bonus time. Ghost Gamer super chat $10. Hate being in the military and hearing Bugman like LB talk about shit they have nothing about, defend horrible shit like it's a video game. It really is like disgraceful. I love that you're walking on dead Arab children's graves like you're not literally fucking justifying the kids being put in them. Like, that's fucking gross, bro. Super Duper Skeleton. Fun fact, a very successful anti-drug efforts was just to infiltrate a crime phone company and just bug the phones. Criminals stopped using those phones after. Not a good tactic though. Bombs. Yeah. We haven't gotten rid of all walkie-talkies. You've made the entire civilian populace terrified of them. Unfortunately. But now, all you gotta do is fucking open the walkie-talkies and not use that same supplier again. Just to double check, I guess. You did a terror attack. People are terrified. Yeah. They're really scared over there. The whole fucking population's terrified of electronics now. Because they don't know what's going to blow up next. They didn't just stick with pagers either. I keep forgetting about the fucking walkie-talkies the next day. Fucking, those are just civilian walkie-talkies. That's not a military communication device. Military communication devices are extremely complex. They're actually, like, fancy. You can use walkie-talkies in short-range radios sometimes, but you're not supposed to. Because they're easy to tap. You can find out what people are saying because they're low-frequency radio waves or whatever the fuck. So, like, you have, like, a Perk 118, Perk 114 Alpha, whatever the fuck. I can't remember them all. Shout out. Somebody probably just like, dude, they haven't used that in fucking 6 years. They have complicated internal computers that constantly scramble them through a series of radio waves, many of which I think are not accessible to the standard civilian spectrum, so that you can't actually hear what's being said because it transmits into a different randomized signal every second, and then all of them are on the same timer. So they're all pop, 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 pop. So if you're listening here, you can only hear when it's like that for like a second, and they're transmitting through like 7 million frequencies or some stupid shit like that. When pressed, he showed no interest in seeking greater precision, meaning to me that he thought his argument was perfect and unassailable. It's like, bro, there is no ref to appeal to. It's just us. He's gonna fucking bring it up to fucking to Daddy probably, Daddy Destiny. Why didn't he answer the fucking waiting room allegations? Where was that at? Where was the waiting room allegations? I hope he's not. No, he's not gonna be on hippy dippy recruitment. Their lives are like a video game. Trying hard to beat the stage, all while not dying to walkie talkies. The guy was essentially making the argument that you're speaking for child victims of war. Like, if they could speak for themselves, they would say it's good that a kid died in the attack. Also true. How dare you stand on the graves of dead children to say children shouldn't die?